Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VLS Victoris Legend Series. We're here for week 2 of some lovely Valorant action, and of course, you got to stick around for a bit, 15 minutes before we can get into games, but lots to talk about, of course. So welcome on in. We're happy to have you on in here joining us tonight for another week of just, I would say, we saw some fine games last week, but of course, my name is Gurf. I will be your host slash analyst tonight, and I'm joined by the lovely cute noob and Wumby once again. How are you both doing tonight? We'll start over with Wumby and see how you're feeling after week 1 is done, and we're here back again.
You want me to talk about week 1 or how my day's been?
How's your day been? I want to know how you're
Oh,
doing. I want to get your vibe first.
oh man, I haven't really experienced much of my day. I've been in bed the whole time, but I've been sleepy, so I've been just tired and sleeping, so vibing, and I've been waiting for this game. I even set an alarm just so I wouldn't oversleep. So there you go.
Been there a couple times, just cracking the eyelids open. It's like, all right, time to go cast. Let's do this. And we got a great cast too, by the way. But Q Noob, how are you feeling tonight? Are you ready for another couple of great
Hello.
teams?
Yes, I definitely am. It's nice to be back here with you, Wumby and Gurf. It's always lovely to see your guys' faces. I pointed out earlier, Wumby's hair is super on point. You might not be feeling good, but you look on point. So hey, there's that plus there, Wumby. I'm really excited to get these games going because, like you said, our first week was a banger. So to start off week 2, oh, I'm super stoked.
Oh yeah, and what a great transition to Cute Noob. Week 1 was our friends staring at walls against the defending champs, the former Fake Flashers, and now currently Excelsior. Oh my goodness, what an insane couple of games we got. That game number 1 we saw on Split, a little bit of a one-sided match, if I would say so, and kind of what was expected. And even though Excelsior, they did take it in the 2-0, they did come back in Ascent and win that one. It was a lot more convincing from Saw, I would say, to come back and bring us to, I think they picked up 8 or 9 rounds, I think, by the end there. So
Mhm.
it was a definite better showing and a definite proof of how strong that this team still is. But that was last week. There's been some changes actually occurring in the backgrounds here. There's been a little bit of an update to our groups. Well, specifically one of our groups. So, in the previous week, a couple of teams we unfortunately they had to part ways. They had either something
Oh
come up. Either
no.
way, they had to go. But we have 2 new teams that came in. So why don't we
Ooh.
go ahead, bring up the graphic, and show what our groups look like again? Let's bring that up. I know our lovely producer Sashman is working in the background, but if you take a look at your screens, of course, Group A looks very similar, and that's because it's exactly the same, hasn't changed one single bit. But over on the side of Group B, we unfortunately have to say goodbye to CX and WSU. Replacing them, first of all, we have Victorum Esports making their debut,
Oh
and
yes.
yeah, first time seeing them, their first time with us. So I'm very excited to see this new roster. It is all very new to me, but the second team coming in, Dream Paralysis Gaming. You notice their logo up there, top left in Group B. Um, they, oh my goodness, friends, I am too excited to introduce these guys because while they are under the name DPG Dream Paralysis Gaming, this is the former Team Wash, the defending champs from former champs from the previous summer, finalists this past fall when it was actually Fake Flashers who took them out. But they're back. They're back again. And they are going to be joining us once again with very familiar friends, very familiar faces like we've seen before. So we've got Darrow, Fearless, Zerminius, High, all coming back again. Blair is going to be taking a sidestep to manager and bringing in
Hmm.
Ravaz. Either way, this is a great squad. Blair's always been a pleasure to work with, and I'm just so excited to see these guys back once again. But what do you guys think about these 2 new teams coming in?
Um, I'll start. I haven't had much experience. I haven't really. This is where my lack of doing my homework comes in because I didn't do a lot of research on both of these teams, but I am very excited to see a Group B match because so far we've only had Group A matches, and I was very sad that we didn't get a Group B match today because I said this last week. I feel like Group B is kind of like the group of death. It's probably the most competitive. There's a lot of teams at the same level and at the same rank that can any team in that group could come out on top. They all have the potential to be in that first place position and that top three position. It's not as set in stone as Group A is, even though we've only had one play day so far.
Hmm. And yourself,
Well,
cute noob. Hmm.
on my hand, I have to say it's very saucy to have returning champs come back because not only do we
Yeah.
have Excelsior, but we also now have this new X champions as well. So it's gonna be a battle of champions, but not only champions, but with the addition of Victorum Esports, I personally have casted them. I actually just casted them this
Oh,
past
that's
weekend.
awesome.
So it was really hard to choose between Excelsior and them because of their background history.
Okay.
They just have so much grit and so much heart that to be added into this mix, I'm excited for the finals already.
I know it's potentially gearing up. We have Victorum on that Group B. We've got DPG on that side as well too, and Excelsior over in Group A. So potential lineup for playoff matchups or meeting each
Mm.
other there in semifinals or finals. Oh, it would look so cool. But you guys were mentioning too, we've had some results. It's only been 1 week, but we do have some games in. We are starting to see a lineup of the standings. I think, it'll still take a couple weeks until we start to see these teams sort of line themselves up where we see the true numbers and the strength start to even out here. But we do have our current standings up until this current week too. So let's bring them up and actually take a peek at them. You can see over in Group A, Excelsior, Fury, S4GE, and Celestial Aim all tied for first place there, each with a win apiece. And then, of course, all tied for fifth is everybody who hasn't gotten a win yet. So staring at walls, New Albany Eagles, Radiant Rising, and Dynasty of Farm Animals, our little friends, little piggy in the tiny boots. Over Group B, though, we've got Weber State, Syndicate Academy, Victorum Esports, all picking up a win this previous week. U Ottawa Gray, Fog Devils, and Drexel University, unfortunately, taking the losses there. And Miracle and DPG still waiting to play their games. I believe they have rescheduled them, which was a nice little grace coming into this past week rather than taking an FF. I believe they are going to get a chance to play those games. Don't quote me on those, but we'll hopefully see them get those in. But those are current standings so far, and I'm just excited to see where they kind of line up once things actually get going. In other news, now that we've got our teams coming on in here, and we do have about, I would say, 10 minutes left until we start going once again. 1 second, guys.
The things are looking mighty nice, especially on both sides. I think it's kind of I'm excited to see how Miracle does against their opponents, which I believe is Stream Paralysis. I think it's gonna be cool to see if they're gonna either be on the top or on the bottom. I don't want to foreshadow anything that we're gonna be talking about, Gurf, but yeah, I think it's gonna knock a little bit of a stamina off of what we have in store.
Yes. Yes. We'll have to see how these teams kind of make their way. And I do apologize for some background noise going on right now. But we do have a couple more things to do before we do get into things tonight. Cute Noob and 1B, I asked you both to rank your top 3 teams so far. And I know, again, it's still very early on, and we might have to come back to this segment and maybe do them once more once we get to see the standings again. Maybe see if our minds change. But as of week 2, I asked you both to rank your top 3 teams. So let's bring up graphic number, I believe, our third one of tonight. I know I was a little busy behind the scenes making these for you guys, but yes, let's bring that up because I want to see what you guys picked, who you picked, and why you picked them. So, Wumby, looking at your top 3, I like it. I like it a lot. Starting from whichever order you want to go in for yourself there. Give us a little explanation why you picked these 3.
I'll start off with Fury. I feel like it's the most easier one to explain to me. Well, it's not the easier one. I feel like a lot of people would have chosen another team, probably Celestial Aims, probably S4G. But I chose Fury because when I was looking at their ranks, when I was looking at their KDs, it was kind of both of them were kind of like really solid to me, and a lot of the players that I was like particularly looking at, or two players on that team that I was looking at that I thought could really help their chances in Group A were Lightning and Imposter. I'm not too sure on their operator choices, on their agent choices, and it's not in the negative way, but that's in a I don't know what they normally play with, whether they play like duelist or whether they play more initiators or controllers or whatever the case may be. But I was really intrigued by their KDs, and I thought, oh, maybe they're like really good fraggers no matter the roles, and they can like make a lot of spaces for their teams no matter what agents they play. The second team I chose, it's not really a surprise because as you guys can see by the graphics, it's the same
Hmm.
one as you chose Girth, and I chose Miracle. And the reason why I chose Miracle is because, well, we casted them a week before VLS started, and it was in the Victoris New Year's tourney, and they won the
Mhm.
whole entire thing, and for good reasons. They have some really good players on that team. They have a really good team comp, and they showed it throughout that whole tournament. I mean, winning 2-0 against the runners up, which was Heart Attack. And I think one player that I like wanted to note down again was, well, Divine. Divine was ultimately Divine during that whole during that whole tournament. Well, I didn't get to watch the whole tournament, just the final. But he was, when we watched him, I thought he was like really good. And I casted that match. It was my first match that I casted with Noob, and that one was really fun to watch. On the side of for Miracle, and hopefully they bring that type of form and that type of confidence
Hmm.
into BLS. The first team, no surprise. It's
Yeah.
Runner. I mean, not former champions, but the
Hmm.
what's the word? The reigning champions.
Yep. Reigning
Mhm.
champions,
There you
defending
go.
champions.
There
They're
you go. There you
strong.
go. Defending, well, yeah, they're the current champions so
Yep.
far. Um, Again, good team composition. Jayco, I mean, I don't need to say much else. Really good with the operator, really good with any gun, really good fragger, well known within this scene of Valorant. As I was told, and for good reason. When we watched him, he was like really good on a lot of these duelist ops. I can take of note Jet in particular. I think that's the main one he played last week as well. Um they Obviously, I feel like I don't want to say this because it's like Valorant, but I feel like they're also a really strat heavy team as well. Like you can tell whenever they go into a map, they have a plan no matter the map. I mean, Ascent. I don't think Ascent wasn't really their no, Ascent was their map pick. The first one that we saw wasn't their
Hmm.
map pick. I can't remember what the map was.
Split and Ascent, I believe, were the two.
Mhm.
Yeah, so again, like no matter the map, they're always prepared. And I mean, it wasn't their map pick in the very first map, but they completely destroyed Saw on it. And that could be because Saw weren't prepared, even though it was their own map pick, to play
Mhm.
against the defending champs. But it was a really good showing, and it showed why they're defending champs, and they showed it in style too. I mean, the
Yeah.
kills that I saw from Jayco on that operator, I don't think I couldn't breathe throughout that whole matchup. It was crazy.
And yourself, that was, by the way, Wumby, fantastic picks. Also, like those are very strong teams we're looking at for sure. But we saw a little bit of carryover for you, Cute Noob, too. But you had a little variation. So why don't you tell us about your top three picks?
All right, so my three picks were a little biased, but I mean, like, based off of information, past experience with the teams, I was having a hard time choosing first place and second place. I gave a first place, but I feel like in my heart, I'm kind of battling it out between Victorium and Excelsior because, yes, we saw how strong Excelsior could be, but we also saw how they could crumble when things don't go their way on Ascent. So they do have that kind of like, if we want to call it Achilles heel, if you
Hmm.
may. And Victorium, I casted them on Champria's tournament, and they made it all the way in the winners bracket to semifinals, lost semifinals,
Ooh.
won losers bracket, came back for the finals, won a best of three after being down a map. So I know these guys have strats. I know they have grit. I know they have the mindset for it. Um, and they might be able to find that Achilles heel for what is it? Excelsior. So I'm just like really stoked. I know I sound hyped because I really am. Like these are two really strong teams. We talked about the new coming team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was it what was it one more
DPG.
time? DPG. Oh, Dream
DPG.
Paralysis Gaming.
Uh-huh.
So uh, they are also in the mix. They weren't on my top 3 choices, but I'm kind of like, oh man, maybe I should have changed my guess. I don't know, but I don't want to like not give credit to Sage. Sage is a solid team. They 2-0'd,
Yeah.
already starting off the
Mm-hmm.
tournament very strong. Their players to look out for are going to be Ace and Alcatane. I believe I'm saying that correctly. I hope so. They just top fragged. I think Ace had a game where he went 41 kills, and everyone else was like way below him. So to have like a really strong, not only top fragger but also duelist that could do its job and drop 41 kills, outfragging everyone in the lobby, I think that definitely makes a statement for them. So 1, 2, 3, number one, Excelsior, but Victorium's like right there. So kind of 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable, but third place for sure, I have Sage or
Oh, good.
S4GE.
Oh, so such good picks too. And I'm gonna go through mine quick too because we are getting close to that game start time, but we have just a couple more things to do. I know lots of fun stuff on the pre-show. I started off with Miracle as my number 3 pick because again, all the points you brought up, Wemby, about them going through that 30 team bracket on January 2nd there in our tournament, making all the way to the top and taking it all home. That was a lovely showing from them. So even though they haven't technically played a game yet, I've got my eyes on them to say that is a strong team that can overcome many different styles, many different variations, and many different player, I guess, styles as well too. Excelsior. You'd be surprised because I know both of you put Excelsior there at number 1, but I have them at 2. And
Ooh.
I got this feeling in me. And maybe on stats, right? Because this past fall in the finals, it was Team Watch versus Fake Flashers, and Fake Flashers turned it on during playoffs. I'm excited to see what DPG looks like because this is what the battle was for me. Do I put XL or do I put DPG at the top? And I have seen this Team Watch come back more and more times again. They are an incredible squad that have played together for many, many, many years. And yeah, they might have had a little bit of a speed bump there this previous fall, but I'm looking at players like Fearless who can operate that jet and operate the operator to an absolute T. And you show even just the slight sliver of yourself peeking out, he's gonna find you. He'll get you. So
Oh, that sounds
I'm very
scary.
excited to see how this DPG squad is going to look. So I got to put my faith a little bit in them, and then we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But final things going on for the night. We are about to get into game. We're just getting map confirmations and confirmation from the teams as well too. 30 seconds or less, guys. We've got to do predictions before we go on. And I know we've got our leaderboard, I believe, out there somewhere. We'll show it real quick. But we have from last week our predictions. So far, Cute Noob and I are up 1. And Wumby, you got to bring her back this week. I know last week was a soft prediction, but I'm tracking them this split so we can see who at the end was our most precise and accurate host, analyst, caster, whatever you want to call us here. We're brains. We're brains on a desk. We're doing great here. But 1B, who's winning it tonight? Fury or Celestial Aim? Who's taking it?
Okay, it'd be hypocritical of me to put Fury on my 3rd spot, only to pick Celestial Aims. I feel like that'd be completely hypocritical of me. So I'm gonna have to go Fury for this match for the same reasons that I listed before. Some really good players on that team, really good team comp again, KD's ranks, everything adds up. Their average rank is like Immortal 2 or 1, and then the average rank for like Celestial Aim is like Immortal 1, which is not bad. Again, it's like the same thing, but again, higher ranks, higher KDs, good team.
All right. So we got Fury from 1B. Cute Noob, how about yourself? Who's going to win tonight?
I have to, just because of the rivalry, I'm gonna go Celestial Aim.
Really?
Yeah, I have
Ooh.
to. I'm gonna go with whatever you're not going here, Wumby. I'll go
Wow.
Celestial Aim. That way we can create some mess in here, some chaos.
Oh, I got you.
All
Okay.
right. So we got 1 for Fury, 1 for Celestial Aim. You know, I gotta go with the research that's been done. Wumby did the research on Fury. I was kind of taking a peek at them too. I'm like, you know what? That's got to be a top team here. I'm gonna go with Fury for tonight, but I think
Ooh.
it's gonna be close. I think we're gonna have some tight competition here because I'm guessing potential overtime. Both these teams have a win up their sleeves. They both went 2-0 last week, but it's gonna be tight. I think Fury is gonna take it by just that little bit of a hair. Either way, we are almost ready to go. Let's see. We'll see if we're right, Wumby, if you and I are gonna be right this week, or if Cute Noob's gonna take the lead in the leaderboard here. Ooh, it's gonna be
Oh.
interesting. But I think we're just waiting on confirmation here from the teams and from our producer on which map we're gonna be heading on to first. Just trying to take a peek through here, and oh, it's one of my favorites, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading on to Icebox for map number 1. So make sure to get those channel points, those V coins ready to go. We are going to start up this agent select in just a second. So make sure you get in your predictions in, letting us know who you think is going to win map number 1 of the night. Remember, this is a best of 3. So potentially looking at 3 games tonight. I'm hoping for 3 games tonight because we got a decider match. Who's taking that little bit of a leading in the standings after this evening? We'll see you soon. Cute Noob, Wumby, take her away.
We are going into Agent Select 1B. What kind of characters do you want to see here? And not only what kind of characters, but based on your background research, what are we expecting here from Fury?
I'm hoping to see some aggressive. Well, it's not really what I'm expecting from Fury based on background because it's not my background research isn't enough. I'm not gonna lie. Tracker.gg stats aren't as telling of what a team might do compared to the actual gameplay that we might see, which is unfortunate because I would love that to be the case, but it's not. Although what I'm expecting to see, at least for Icebox, is some aggressive play I mean, yeah, aggressive play, maybe not really, well, a lot of action going down through mid and then a lot of action probably going on to the A site in particular. Um because as we all know, Icebox is kind of like it's not kind of, it is a two-tiered map where there's a lot of like vertical play, there's a lot of it's it's a two-tiered map. It's a lot of vertical play. There's a lot of aggressive play to be had, especially through that mid area, and sometimes even on that well, green side on both sides, and also in that little factory area on belts, and also on the Raptors area in that little factory as well. I don't really know. Like I said, aggressive play. I mean, what are you looking for?
Well, based on team composition, it looks like Celestial Aim
impending attack from Celestial Aims, but the plant is actually going to go down an A after they were kind of dilly-dallying between the both of the sites. And I mean, this looks pretty good for Celestial Aims, but again, Fury have a chance to pull themselves back into the round. They've done it before in this same game as well, and this retake could possibly be on hand for the side of Fury.
Definitely need to be taking those 1v1s or be ready for the trade. The one thing about having a Viper on your team, though, is those lineups, as we can see Navi doing. Gonna get aggressive here because doesn't have any more spits here for that bomb, as well as Rin just getting aggressive as well. That Sheriff, though, doing work by Crypto, but isn't going to be able to secure anyone else as Navi's gonna hold out this exit kill. I want to point out one thing here, 1B, and it's, you talked about it a little bit, but that aggressiveness by Celestial Aim, and not only the aggressiveness, but the mind games they're playing with Fury right now.
Yeah, it's Fury. This strikes me as odd because I said before that I haven't seen Fury play, but judging by their team composition and their team composition and by what I've researched on them, they can be an aggressive team, and it could work out well for them. I mean, I think they're battling it out for first place at the moment, and this match is a pretty big decider match for this round alone as the recon bot comes in, or the spy, whatever. I don't even know, that's not a spy cam, but there goes the first kill of the game, not the game, but round. Onto Havoc, Avery gets the trade on the end, and there goes a lot of action trades coming in for both teams, and it's now an even man count, 3v3, and the attack is going to come in, well, as you guys can tell, viewers, onto B. The Viper grabbing, not the Viper, I think that was actually the Sova grabbing the orb to recharge his ultimate there. But there goes the revive from the Sage, and I mean, Sage is actually, you said it, Sage is actually really, really powerful on Icebox, mainly for holding down mid, but also her walls do come in handy, not only for attack, but also for defense.
Yeah, and the bomb here, I think they're getting a little bit confused here as they are making their way down mid, but Casual was holding down, able to secure one, but two were there for the trade. It's now a 2-2 1B. The bomb's going over to A where they knew Viper is, but what they also know based on the past experience is the fact that Fury is very easily manipulated to rotate. And so this is going to be a free side. Crypto, though, has the idea, maybe finally making those changes and rotating at a quicker pace. The Viper spit is coming out, but that snake bite is in the perfect position for that post plant. The bomb's going to go down, 9 seconds on the board. Now it's going to be a post plant situation with Avery and Crypto here having to take it in. I believe there should be one available Lear on Reyna. 2v1 now, Navi being the last man standing, trying to be patient here, sitting in that Viper spit. It's so awful going into that Viper spit. You never know where they're going to be, but Avery knew the exact position.
You heard that laugh from Reyna, bro. She's so scary. I don't know why. She's scarier than Chambers at times, especially when you have like a good fragger on your team and they're able to get, I mean, the whole point of Reyna is getting kills, and once you get kills, her abilities are even more useful, and Avery showed it right there. I mean, that retake from Fury was beautiful, although a really good try coming in from Celestial Aims. As again, it was a 2v2, both teams could have won it, but unfortunately for Celestial Aims, it was Fury that came out on top, and now we have an even round count between both teams. I mean, there's not a lot of bad things that I'm seeing from neither teams. If anything, when they're getting like caught out or when these losses from these rounds are coming in, it's just like these really late, I don't know, these really late gunfights that take both teams or both of these players off guard, and it's very close at the moment, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's just like they have to capitalize on each other's mistakes, and like you said, the last minute post plant situations are where Celestial Aim has not been as successful. That's where Fury has been able to capitalize, but this time around, Celestial Aim is going to be a little more patient, and just as I say that, Soba got a little too greedy there. Avery once again being able to punish that out, and it's just they're being very, very patient. The bomb is going to go over into B site, and finally, as we can see, Crypto's being more patient on A site and going to be holding it just in case they decide to rotate here.
Yeah, Fury being patient or well being
30
aggressive
seconds
when
left.
it suits them best, and I've said it, they can be aggressive when they want to, but only when it suits them best.
Spike
Avery getting
down,
that
B.
swing onto Ren, and there goes a sneaky little sneak from Milky Mommy into the line of fire of 2. Wow, he gets 2 kills from that. He gets Avery and Havoc, and then he's completely traded by Imposter, and the spike is going down in B,
One
but it's a
enemy
3v2
remaining.
situation. Now 3v1, Casual getting both of those kills. And I just noticed Casual is actually filling in for, I can't remember, it was a player I said that to look out for, Lightning. He's actually filling in for Lightning, and I have to take note that Casual is actually 9-4 right now, and he's filling in for a player that I said to watch. He's doing really good for his sub. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's doing his thing, and I mean on Sova as well.
Do you think that's going to be a big factor going into the further, not only just the further maps, but the further match, but also the further maps that we go into? Maybe they don't have as many strats with them?
Maybe it depends. Maybe they were preparing for a specific player, and Casual is just wasn't that player that they were watching out for. Subs do happen. Sometimes they can be in the benefit of one team and or of the enemy team, and they can then be in the benefit, or they can be in the benefit of the team that the sub is happening for. But the first kill does come out, and it's actually going to be Havoc on that operator grabbing the raise of Milky Mommy, and this attack from Celestial Aims is just going to take a little bit of a second to recap and, you know, recover before they make this push onto the A site, as it seems that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they're being very persistent on this site. I would kind of want them to rotate over, especially because Havoc has an operator. A jet with an operator is a scary sight to see, but it looks like they're still going to decide to get on here. We're going to use that flashpoint to get onto site, as well as the recon bolt to see, hey, what's going on there. They know one's on screens. That ultimate coming out from Rin here as well. The null here. Hunter's Fury also coming in from the retake here. Gets a little hurt on Rin, but not enough to get that kill. And now it's a post-plant situation for Fury here. They have to get on site. They do have a man advantage. They also have some intel as Crypto is able to get that kill. A lot of util being used here. There's only one man standing out. Wumby, can he do it? And the answer is no.
I mean, another, we've seen it so many times in this matchup. Team Ace as well. I mean, what is this over in the Jet and the Viper doing?
There was a little celebration there.
That looked so weird. I saw the Sova, and then the Viper caught me off guard. But again, we've seen this before with Fury, where they have these like really good retakes, and they're so clean, but again they come off, I said it, it's the mistakes from either one of these teams. It's those little things that can really screw you over in a match like this. And unfortunately for Celestial Aims, they are 5-3 down, and for a reason, because Fury are capitalizing off of those mistakes, and they're punishing them, and they're doing it greatly. So Imposter grabbing the first kill onto the chambers of Zaddy Snipes, and again, mistakes, just Celestial Aim being a little bit over aggressive, and it hasn't even been that long into the match. Lobby grabbing that trade onto Avery.
Yeah, I think you make a really fair point, especially as they are also being very persistent on the site they decide to go. As we can see, they went up tunnel, wanted to hit this B site, but as kills went off, once you start losing men, you have to rethink where you want to go, and you have to rethink how to do it. As far as gun weaponage, they were at a disadvantage there, so I do like the idea of, hey, let's just try something new. But now their economy is, as we can see here, 1B, very low. Celestial Aim needs this round if they want to continue to keep bringing that fight onto Fury here.
Yeah, it looks like they've kind of, well, I want to say their economy is looking pretty bad, but it looks like they full bought this round. So if they lose this round, their economy is not, again, it's not gonna look so great. And Fury have just looked unstoppable, but Havoc gets shut down on that. Well, I want to say that's Dream on this B site by, well, I can't remember who he got killed by. I think it was Milky Mommy actually to shut him
Mm-hmm.
down with that operator in his hand. And now the plant is going down the B site. And what's going on here? The retake is going to have to happen so early on from Fury. And there goes the rotate from 2 Fury players, the Reyna of Avery, and also the Sage of Imposter having to do the flank. And there goes the kill into Avery. This is looking a bit dire for Fury.
Fury is men down. A little bit of util available. Casual finally, after lurking so long, onto that beam mid, able to get a kill, but the time is ticking. Imposter getting through, missing Chamber, but Chamber peeks off through and gets the kill. And finally, Celestial Aim finds the breathing room. They did lose, I believe, a weapon or two, as we can see based on their economy. Navi went down, so is going to be forced to buy this round with only 100 credits left to carry on over to the next round. We have a Viper's Pit and a Hunter's Fury on the side of Celestial Aim. How would you like to see them execute it and get onto site with those?
Well, I think I've said it before. It's really the early aggression from Celestial Aims and the patient play from Fury that fights Celestial Aims in the butt for most of the rounds, because as you can tell, again, you see what I mean? That time it was the aggression from Fury, and it's impossible to take out the KO on the side of the Celestial Aims. And this A push is going to be quickly demolished. Well, not really. Navi getting the kill onto Havoc, but Avery getting the quick trade onto Milky Mommy. A 4v3 man advantage. The Sova has her ultimate. She could bring up the Jet, and Avery's just being a menace on this Reyna, but he's gonna get shut down by Navi. 3v2 in advantage in the hands of Fury. I mean, I want to say it's either a lack of aggression or just the lack of them not winning their gunfights clearly enough that's really biting them in the butt here.
Aim
I don't really know. It's a mixture of over aggression very early in the round. And
I
then
think you're 100% correct. Yeah, whoever wins the gunfight, and just like we saw Mouse able to capitalize on that. Jet on the operator, maybe that was not the thing there, as B site is going to be the hit site. Soba is very low on health, and Navi's a little behind, as Crypto's going to be already cutting that corner. That pre-fire through the wall was not in the right position, and able to get their 5th point. It's going to be a close match here, 1B. I think we keep talking about it being who makes the first mistake, but I think that their aim is just so equal. They're the same aim. They have the same aim, that whoever is able to get the first kill is where the round's going to go, basically.
yeah, they show why that top spot is so close. I mean, it's only been 1 week, but they show why that top spot is so close. And that's a good reason as to why this matchup is going to be very close. And I don't want to curse it, but I feel like we're gonna get a third map here, and this is gonna be a long night between both of these teams for us and for them as well.
Absolutely. Even just coming out here, Mouse getting that ping on Crypto and using the Hunter's Fury, able to get that first pick, making a huge hole for his team, as we're going to see them go over into a site where it's basically a free site, because the rotation, like we stated before from Fury, is early and quick. Havoc's going to be on site. Havoc has the operator. Havoc is a Havoc with that operator. Is he going to be able to get this pick right off the bat? No, decides just to back it up here. Milk Mommy getting the kill. That operator is no longer a problem, but what is a problem is going to be that nullification coming into sight for Fury. They don't exactly know where things are happening. The Resurrection's going to be kind of calling off where one of the players is for Celestial Aim, but it does not matter, because the team is just clearing off everybody left and right there, 1B.
God, at this point, like, I wanna stress this. I don't wanna like. This is not me coming off as like slating Fury, because I mean it's not really I mean, it is their fault that they're kind of like letting them back into the game. but it's kind of like what else can they do at this moment? Celestial Aims are on a roll here, and again, this is a very even matchup between two very evenly matched teams, and it looks like Celestial Aims are kind of putting, like, at first it was like 6-3 and it's now 6-6. Celestial Aims have finally found their footing in this matchup, and they just, I mean, they're it's going this like I said, this is going to be a very good matchup, and it's going to be very competitive. And again, they're collapsing onto this A site like they did last round. I mean, could it be different this time around? Probably not. Not be getting that first kill, not be getting that second kill,
Navi
not be
popping
getting that
off.
kill. What the hell is happening?
Oh man, Celestial Aim just made a statement, 1B. They said, A site is our site and you ain't coming here.
I just, you know what, see, the colors confusing me again because I didn't realize they did the side swap. But yeah, I mean, this time we saw Fury attack the A site instead of Celestial Aims. Celestial Aims defending that site pretty well, I might say, and you might say as well. I mean, it's a mixture of Celestial Aims finding their way back into this game and also getting used to the playstyle of Fury. Whereas in the rounds that we saw Fury win, it wasn't really that convincing from Celestial Aim, if I might say. This time they're looking a bit more comfortable, and they're showing their comfortability in this matchup. Avery being knocked down to, wow, what the hell just happened there? Milky Mommy getting 3 kills. Imposter getting the trade finally onto Ren, but that's for naught. Spike's gone down, but the defuse is gonna come down from Celestial Aims. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? I don't even, at this point, my brain has melted. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, I just want to say Zaddy snipes with the judge from like 10 feet away, getting that kill. Such disrespect. I don't know, 1B, but I think you should rethink your pick on Fury, because Celestial Aim is, not only do they have momentum on their side because they have won 5 rounds in a row, but they are not just getting kills, but they're getting team kills. So the teams are like doing little to no damage onto here. I don't know. It's looking grim for Fury, and I hate to say that, but it just looks like defending is in the hands of Celestial Aim here. But maybe I'm speaking too early. We're on to the next round. Weapon advantage for Fury here as we go into their first full buy round. Havoc. Good for one.
He grabs the first kill of the game, or the round actually, onto the Chambers nonetheless. Chambers actually, the Chambers of Zaddy Snipes not having the best game so far, and that's pretty unusual from what I've seen so far of the short time I've been casting competitive Valorant. Um, yeah, unfortunately for him not having the best game, but again, early man advantage for the side of Fury. As you know, you see Jet in this mid position. Jet and you said Sage was really powerful for this mid position, which I totally agree with, but Jet is also very, very powerful in this mid position with her ability to jump and also to dash across the map as well. But it looks to be an A take or an A site push coming in from the side of Fury. Avery gonna get the first kill for his team, or second kill actually. Crypto grabbing the third and Avery grabbing the fourth. Now up to the raise of Milky Mommy, but he's not going to do anything. Plant's gonna go down, but I mean, the round is over. Hello? Okay.
Yeah, so that was finally the first round for Fury. Like we talked about before, that it had to be their round. They were full buying. Celestial Aim were on a bonus round, so their weapons were not the greatest. And this kind of was an expected round. This is where we're going to see whether momentum has finally stopped for Celestial Aim, and if Fury's going to actually take it and give it to them and take this map, potentially. I want to give a shine to Avery over on Fury here, 14-14, doing his job as a Reyna, but not only that, but also Casual. Casual's popping up as Soba, getting a lot of intel for his team, as we can already see over on A site.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's filling in for Lightning as well, and that's I said this before. When we did our predictions for the top three teams so far, even though, whatever, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say like Lightning was my player to watch for this team, and Casual is doing a very good job of filling his shoes, especially on the Sova. Nonetheless, Sova being probably one of the more important roles of Valorant, at least on a map like Icebox, where you're forced to get so much intel. First kill though is coming in from Zaddy Snipe, and that's a misread from Avery as he gets killed from Milky Mommy. And this push on B is going to be for Not. The bomb though is still in the hands of the Sage, who is actually going to do this rotate with the rest of her team into the factory area of this belt, and then also you have a player going into Nest, and then, or no, that's Pipes actually, but he's going to get killed nonetheless, and it's now a 4v2, well, because Crypto made it a 4v2 onto Navi.
Yeah, one man down in Celestial Aim's team, but there's still a lot more available to them if and once they go into this post plant. If the bomb goes down, 12 seconds on the board, Crypto and Imposter have to make, Crypto has to make something be done, but no, that is not the case. Unable to do that, and just like I said, 1B, this was going to be a dictatorship, or a kind of foreshadowing what was going to happen in the future. And now, just like that, Celestial might have the momentum back in their favor.
Ah, man, this is crazy. This happened to me with Saw last week, and it's not, again, it's not their fault. I mean, Excelsior are a great team, but like I'll vote for a team and I feel like I cast or curse them or something, because they'll do well, no, I mean, this isn't really the case for Saw, but I mean, for Fury, they looked very, very strong in the very first few rounds, and then all of a sudden it's kind of gone downhill from there, and Celestial Aim have found some really good momentum that I can't really see them giving up. But that's the first kill for Havoc, and again, Havoc, just like Zaddy Snipes, isn't having the best game, but that's one way to start a round. Now going 5 and 12 as he grabs that kill onto the Viper of Navi. Navi going 19-11 actually, and doing a very, very good job with his utility on Viper, as well as getting kills for his team.
Yeah, but that's not going to be the case this time around. Navi was the first blood here for Havoc, as you mentioned. Sometimes the duelists might not be having the best day, and that could be the case for Havoc here, but hopefully he can turn things around, as there is still hope for this map to be in their hands if they play their cards right. Rin, though, able to shut down Havoc, and now it's a 4-4 fight. The bomb is pretty deep into A site, but who is lurking? Reyna, Avery lurking onto mid, maybe trying to get a potential kill here on
30 seconds
Soba,
left.
but Mouse just cleans it up. Actually, Milky Mommy able to get a peek off that. Viper's Pit does come down, and Raze's Showstopper does no stopping whatsoever here. The bomb is going to get planted here by Imposter, and it's going to be a retake in the hands of Celestial Aim.
And they have to go into the Viper's Pit. This is not looking good for Celestial Aim, as the spike is deep into that pit, that toxic pit that they have to force themselves to be in. That's the kill for Casual. He's gonna probably grab another, and that's actually Imposter to grab that kill into Zaddy Snipe. Soba being the last one alive, that's Mouse, but he's probably not gonna find anything. Mouse actually does find something. It's Crypto. The Viper's net does go down, because that's actually the Viper who's dead, and now he has to find another, and he does, and that's onto Imposter, but he's not. Oh no, he doesn't. He finds that kill, but he probably doesn't have enough time. Please don't have enough time.
I think that's enough time, 1B. That is definitely enough time. 1.25 to be exact of time. 31 health. Economy is rough for Fury here, as we're only going to be able to see some sheriffs in the hands, as well as light shields. They do have some ultimates, but usually you don't want to use any ultimates in the hands of a save round. You're kind of like, okay, let's wait for a more aggressive round with full weapon usage. So I'm guessing that it's going to be the 11th point on the board for Celestial Aim here, and their economy's booming, their kill count's booming. Milk Mommy doing Milk Mommy things as Raze.
No.
Havoc doing some impact kills with his knives, but those knives just missed a little too quickly. There's going to be a Phantom in the hands of Havoc, who's going to be pushing onto B site, but Mouse and Snipes are going to be already on site. The bomb is nowhere in anyone's hand, actually, and it's all left to Havoc. A hope, a dream, a Phantom, 22 shield, 1 smoke if needed, and an updraft as well.
He's gonna die to Navi. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, that round, I don't know what to say. The round before that is probably a tilted for them, and after, I mean, they got they got the first pick with Havoc getting a kill with that Blade Storm, but ultimately it was the Sova again of Mouse, who I mean, Navi going 20-11, Milky Mommy going 20-12, but Mouse is actually going 17-9. I don't know what to say right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're as tilted as I am because my prediction has gone in the mud at the moment. But I mean, it's the first map, so I'm not too. I'm a bit worried, but I'm not too worried, as it is 7-11 and CA. I mean 7-11. There you go. CA only having 2 rounds left to go before they eventually take this map, but they might. I mean, Fury might have a answer to that, as the first, well, I want to say first piece of contact is between the Chambers and the Rays, Avery and Zaddy Snipe in contact with one another, but at the moment it's a very slow round, not a lot of action going on between neither one of these teams.
Yeah, Havoc should be happy there. A lot of util was wasted, as we saw a tripwire going down for Chamber. His teleport went down as well, but some nades also being used by Raze there as well. So a little bit of impactful util was used there, and A site's actually going to be the site to be desired anyways, as a slow orb goes on to Navi. Navi's going to have to retreat. I don't know if Havoc knows, but Havoc has the bomb and is going to attempt to plant it up in Nest. But that grenade coming out was so beautifully positioned that that plant was not possible just quite yet. Recombo might give out the position of the enemies here as Mouse pushes into sight. They're having to retreat. It is a post-plant scenario as Rin's going to be the one tapping it down. Hunter's Fury, though, on the hands of Casual here goes down, able to stop the defuse. It's 2v1. Milk Mommy being the only one alive with 30 health and a dream. Viper's Pit, that lineup just missed a tad bit, so it's gonna be unfortunate. Oh, that was a perfect cross there by Milk Mommy, but Crypto had just a tad more health there.
Yeah, good. I mean, good round coming in from Fury ultimately. Good round. I just said that, but good plant, good post-plant positions, and that's as good as it can get for Fury. They have 3 rounds left to go before they can eventually, well, I want to say have a chance, but they still do have a chance. I mean, they haven't been terrible. Like, they haven't been, I don't want to say it like that, but they haven't been like absolutely terrible to the point where I'm giving up on them. They haven't. They've been on par with Celestial Aims. There's just times where Celestial Aims have been better. Zaddy Snipe is on this green position, but he's going to be at least 3 players from the side of Fury. He's going to use his ability to teleport on out of there, as this B site is actually going to be heavily pushed from the side of Fury. The plant's going to go down behind the wall, behind the ice walls of the Sage, and there goes the spike being planted. 5v5 post-plant positionings established, probably by now, from the side of Fury. No kills yet between neither one of these teams, but I don't even know which way this could go right now.
I like how the Viper's holding down for post-plant lineups, and I'm hoping that that's what's happening here. Milk Mommy, though, getting aggressive. The lineups there, as we can see, coming down from Viper. Navi, the last man standing, trying to make things work for Celestial Aim, but that is not the case. Big move by Fury there, able to get the momentum shifted in their favor. What did they do there differently, Wumbi, that they hadn't done before?
Well, I don't. I said this before with Celestial Aims when they were on attack. Not being, because I mean, I feel like it's a common theme on Icebox as well for attackers, is to be very, very aggressive, or to over-aggress into positions that you probably shouldn't when defenders clearly have a leg up on you. yeah, a leg up on you when it comes to being in certain positions on this map, like say for example rafters in A, or even in the mid on in the mid of icebox. 2 kills coming out now, well 3 kills actually between both teams, but Fury being the better. There goes another kill for Casual and a 4v2 man advantage for the side of Fury, as it looks like the Viper picks up the bomb, or the spike actually going to the A site. The Viper's wall actually being established as well. And the only player on this A site, because there's only 2 players alive for Celestial's aim, is the KO of Rin, who I feel like has been doing a great job on this KO with his utilities, if I'm being honest, but he's going to be the last one alive, so there's not much he can do, and there's Crypto to grab the last kill.
So I want to make a key point there. I do love the fact that Celestial Aim said, yo, let's try something different, right? And their different was push out B main. The problem was there was a lot of folks from the side of Fury holding down that B push, and just like that, they got punished. That was a save round for Celestial Aim, so we're going to see full buy here. Raze almost has that showstopper. That could be something to be worried about if you are Fury. And if you are Fury, you almost have your Viper's Pit as well, and you have your Resurrection. So you want to make sure that if you die in a beneficial position for your team to have numbers. Navi, though, getting that first pick on Havoc, who has not been having the best game, as we can see based off on this scoreboard. 7-16 as a Jet. You're kind of hoping that you could do a little bit more impact for your team, but that is not the case. The weapon is nowhere in sight. Zaddy, though, getting punished by Casual, who's deep into B site.
Yeah, at the moment they don't have this spike, and it's not. I don't really. It's not really a point of criticism for me. It's a. I think they're just trying to figure out what they want to do. Our Fury, but they have this spike now, and it looks like they're probably going to do an A plant. A plants have been so common in this icebox match. I mean, it's not. It's not like a weird thing, but I just thought I'd note that out. No, both teams have planted at the B site, but the A site is usually the way to go, at least. Well, not really in this meta, but for a lot of icebox maps, as you see them go straight into the A site, looking to plant the spike. There's a player, well, from mid that punishes a player in the actual site. There goes the ice wall from the stage, and there goes the plant. It should now be going down. And post-plant position, Milky Mommy grabbing that. 2 kills, actually. I think she got a kill with her ultimate, and then she grabbed the third, and there goes the spike being defused. And there goes Celestial Aims, I think, on match in map point. Wow. I mean, we're getting a very good matchup between both teams, and although I did predict Fury to win, I'm not changing my vote, but like
I
even though I
think what you want to say, 1B,
yeah.
is I'm right. It's okay. You can admit that I'm right.
Absolutely not. That's not. No. That's not what I said. Hello. No, I meant to say, like, I know I picked Fury to win because of based on their ratings and what I've researched. But Celestial Aims, we've said this at the beginning, that this was going to be a very competitive match. Both teams are on the same levels. Fury being a little bit higher in that level than Celestial Aims, but Celestial Aims, I mean, I don't know what else to say. They're doing their thing, and they're doing it right, and they're doing it in style as well. I have to say, in when it comes to compliments to them.
Yeah, they're doing a good job at getting that initial pick and then playing post plant together, especially capitalizing on the ultimates that they have. The plant does go down. Zaddy already getting that first pick off the bat for them, this post plant. The drone's gonna spot out Sage, who's gonna be having to do that bunny hop back. They know that there's a man over on yellow as Milk Mommy creeps up. Navi being able to good. Now it's a post plant retake, and the bomb is getting tapped. The Viper's Pit's down. Ooh, it's gonna be a 1v1 as Casual has 21 health in a dream. And just like that, 1B, match point secured. Celestial Aim is the winner of map number 1.
Defenders win.
The snow should hide our tracks.
Man,
Don't be too sad.
I'm not sad. Oh man. Nah, I mean,
Oh.
it's unfortunate for Fury. That was a very close match, and it's sad that it had to end like that for them. But I mean, Celestial Aim they're battling it out for that top spot for a reason, and they showed it there on Icebox nonetheless. But I'm very excited to see our next map. I'm not too sure what our next map is.
Well, we do actually have that up next. I'm actually just grabbing a couple screenshots here for our own research and knowledge for the upcoming weeks. But yeah, we were talking about a close game and a close series tonight, and I think we got exactly that. 13-10 in favor of Celestial Aim. Wambi, don't feel too disheartened yet. The night is still young and full of terrors. We still got another game to go, and we are heading on to, I believe it is Haven for map number 2. So we will get this loaded up, and of course, because we're here in Valorant, we're gonna get loaded up and ready for game 2 very, very shortly. But no, that was honestly great stuff from both sides. I like the fact too that Celestial Aim were coming in looking super duper strong. Things looked a little shaky there in those early rounds, but they really pulled it back into order. But my eyes are honestly, I'm keeping my eye on Casual right now, like you said, Wumby filling in for Lightning and doing honestly a fantastic job in that first half. So hopefully able to keep that up because we saw CA really, really turn it on when they got into that defensive side. But thoughts before going into game 2 on a Haven, starting with you, Wumby.
Oh shoot, we got Haven. That's now if Icebox was that exciting, I'm expecting to see probably the same thing from Haven, if not different straps and different playstyles. Haven is a completely different map from Icebox for various reasons. Well, one of the primary reasons, the most important reason, is that Haven is a lot bigger. There's 3 sites, and there's a lot of work for the defenders to be done. So in all honesty, as defender sided, I feel like I want to say Icebox was a bit defender sided. As defender sided as Icebox was, it was kind of the same, but mostly in the hands of the defenders. I feel like Haven is going to tell another story, and this time it's going to be the story for attack. And both teams very aggressive, being aggressive when they want to. Will probably do a very good job on attack if they have something to say about it. So I'm
I
just
like that.
excited.
No, that's good. That's a true point too. With Haven having 3 sites rather than what we see on a lot of the newer maps here is the triple site. So that'll be interesting to see what happens on attack. Celestial Aim though, like we mentioned, turning on defensive side. So I'm a little curious to wonder if this is going to potentially favor Fury. But Cute Noob, what do you think about that? The fact that we have CA starting defender side on Haven on a site that might favor the attackers this game.
I think that if Celestial Aim makes a statement starting off defense because their defense is very strong, it's going to be a very quick match. And I hate to put it out there for Fury fans out there, but if they can do mad work on defense and then just close it out on attack, it's going to be pretty quickly. I think Fury needs to make an impact on attack here. Yes, Haven is an attacker site and map because of those 3 sites. Not only just 3 sites, but also you're having to watch garage and you're also having to watch a short. So like there's a lot of little crevices that you have to clear if you are the defender, making sure that nobody's being a little too sneaky. I think what I want to see from Fury is a little more impact from their duelists. As we saw, because their duelists weren't as impactful on Icebox, that came down to a lot of losses, and unfortunately that's just how it is. If your initiators or your duelists aren't creating as much space for you, you're going to fall, and that's what we saw. So maybe just a little bit more aggressiveness from whoever is going to play duelist on the side of Fury would make it a comeback and might even take us on to map 3.
Oh, wonderful points from both of you. I couldn't have said anything better myself. But yeah, let's see if Fury can turn it on. Let's see if we can get that pivotal game 3 that we're just very hungry for, I think, out here. Because last week was a 2-0. I know a bunch of 2-0s across the board. We're hoping to see that potential game 3 here tonight. But predictions should be open and somewhere out there in the Twitch chat. So make sure to get your predictions in for who you think is going to win map number 2 here on Haven. Will Celestial Aim take it home today in a 2-0 fashion, or are we going to get Fury bringing us back to game 3? Still waiting for an update on which map that third map might be. But that could be just the confidence of one of these teams showing that we don't even have to worry about telling you what map 3 is. We're just here to win it in 2. Let's see if Fury can tell us otherwise. Anyways, ready to send it off to, I believe, Agent Select. Take it away, cute noob and 1B for game 2.
I'm gonna let you start off with the agent select. I mean,
Me.
I said what I said at the beginning about Haven and what I expect to see for it. What are you expecting to see from Haven?
Well, I definitely expect to see that Astra, and I love that Crypto is the one on Astra because we saw how powerful of a agent, and not just agent, but player he could be. So to have him on Astra, I'm excited to see some Astra pulls, maybe even some sneaky stuns coming into sight. Also, I like the chamber on Navi. Navi did pretty phenomenal as well. So seeing a chamber, I think we can both agree that Jet and chamber are pretty good combo because of the operator and how scary it could be having a double operator, especially on this map that has really long angles. For example, C long as well as A long, and even just B site. Being able to hold B site with that operator could be really scary as well. So I do like that. I think that with those two agents on the side of Celestial Aim, they're going to be a very aggressive team, especially bringing in that momentum of that first map on Icebox. As far as on attackers, they're going for a more defensive heavy type of team with that the Cypher being able to hold down the garage, being able to hold down C site, or maybe even just being able to hold B and garage altogether. Astra's going to also be helping them hold off a site. And with the Sky, I do like the Sky pick because you get to go into site and flash everyone and basically be blinded for days.
Yeah, I feel like Sky is like a really common pick on Haven, and for good reasons. Her flashes, her ability to well, yeah, her ability to flash people, and then also her ability to gather intel, and then also Cypher being a very popular pick. Well, not very popular because he's not very popular. He's not very popular in the Valorant scene, at least in comp play, or at least really in competitive play. Yeah, competitive play, and I want to say yeah, comp play and ranked play or whatever the case may be. I can't remember what it's called on Valorant, but he's very useful on a map like Haven because he's a very defender sided op, like you said, and then also the fact that he can get around the map pretty quickly, and then also his ability to gather intel. He's kind of like Jet in a way, but not really, and not really with the ability to frag out or the ability to move around the map as fast as Jet does with her abilities. But the first piece of contact comes in from Avery grabbing Sadie Snipe, Vilky Mommy grabbing 2, and then getting traded off by Avery, his doppelganger. And now it's a 3v2, Crypto grabbing that kill onto Mouse. And the attack is going to start off in the C site, the plant going down, and there goes your spike planted. And it's now up to Navi and Rin.
Yeah, it's a 2v3 in favor. Very strong start, by the way, from Fury here over onto C site, especially from Navi here. Crypto, though, getting... Navi's just capitalizing on these kills, able to finish it up. And it was a strong start for Fury, their 1B, but that point just went over Celestial.
You can't see my face, but I have a mouth wide open in disbelief. I actually cannot believe that retake, and we've said how attacker-sided Haven is, and it's not only because of the 3 sites. Retaking, whenever a site is taken control of by the attackers, it's very, very hard for the defenders to be able to retake onto site. But that wasn't the case, was it, for Celestial Aim? They were able to completely dominate Fury in that retake, and it was a good start from Fury, but not good enough to grab them that round when they should have. But it seems as though C-Long is going to be the avenue of attack for 2 players, the Astra and the, I want to say this is the Sova, Casual, and Crypto going down C-Long. But it's Avery to grab the first kill onto Mouse, and that's the only player in C, and now they have to retake their site yet again, do Celestial Aim.
We saw them successfully retake previously, but this time there's more men in favor of Fury here, holding down different positions, not peeking one by one. Avery going mad as well. A Havoc. Oh, Avery being able to trade that off. Last man standing is Navi. Had the clutch gene before, but this time he has to have a clutch gene between 4 people. It kind of seems a little impossible if you ask me, as he gets blinded and having to push into CT, but Imposter is just going to shut him down. And once again, we're on that point for you, point for me type of status here, 1B.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just. There's a lot of surprises in this map, and it's only been 2 rounds completed so far. I'm not sure if my heart can handle this. I haven't had a heart attack before. I'm only 22, but this might be my first if this keeps up. And
Oh no.
I mean, again, the retake in the very first round that we saw from Celestial Aim was amazing, but the dominance in the second round coming in from Fury onto that C site was also amazing to see. And I'm hoping to see more of that from both teams, more of that aggression, more of that same energy being pumped out. And there goes the first kill, this time from Havoc, grabbing his doppelganger of Daddy Snipes. There goes the flash to flash the Sova in mid, and that's Avery to capitalize off of that kill, but he's going to be caught off guard by Rin hiding into that little cubby area, Havoc getting that trade, and it's not a 4v2, but Havoc is actually pretty low on health as well, and it looks to be an A-site plant, A-site push from the side of Fury.
Yeah, that site is fully free if they want to take it. As we can see, Navi's making his way over up to heaven, but the bomb is able to get planted nice and for free. I would like for Havoc to reposition here, as we can see. I know they don't know this, but there is no one on the flank, so it's going to be a push in here by Milk Mommy, who just gets picked off here. Navi is shown, but is not able to do nothing at all. What I think is happening here, and I think what's helping a lot for Fury, is the fact that not only is Avery popping off as an initiator, but also they're getting those initial picks and making sure that they keep the men lead going into post plant.
Yeah, I mean, I want to focus on that very first kill that Avery got in that round as well. Beautiful use of the little flash bird. I don't know what it's called, so I call it Flashy Bird because it's a bird that flashes you. And he used it beautifully in that situation to grab that kill onto the Sova in mid. He could have potentially gotten himself a second, but it wasn't meant to be. But he was quickly traded off, and you said it before in the very first map that we had between both of these teams, is that it's very important that you die in a very important place, not only for the fact that it's just not helpful for your team to die very far off from them, but also it's also for that trade value, the very first kill coming in for the side of Fury as they grab Navi on that Chambers. It looks like they're going for an A push this time as well, like they did the last round. Jet being the Jet of actually Zaddy Snipes being in their way. But that's the only player in that A site, so he could be easily overwhelmed by these Fury players, but he actually does get the first kill on his roster.
Oh, he's able to get that kill, but the Seekers are going to be mispositioning him into getting killed by Crypto. Crypto up at short. This site is fully in control by Fury here. It's a post plant for Celestial. They have been having a hard time retaking site. I'm actually surprised to see how they're going to go about this. Crypto is very low on health, so technically it is kind of like a 2v3 in favor of Celestial. Flashes coming in as well as Recon Bolt. They're going to be pushing on to CT, where they're going to be met by Crypto, who has 1 health in a dream, but his aim is just too perfect. Now it's the last man standing, Mouse. Mouse 1v1, but isn't able to finish off Avery. Avery is popping off for their team. 1B?
Oh my god. He's doing such a good job on this initiator. You said it last round. I mean, not only is he popping off with the kills, but he's doing a great job of using his utility to make space for his team to be able to let them do, not only let them do their jobs, but also let him do theirs. Because once you make space for your team, you kind of push the enemies into different positions where they're not so comfortable in, and then they get caught out, and then once they get caught out, they get killed, and it's a hot mess for them and a good mess for your team because it's in your advantage, you know. I mean, it's good to see from the side of Fury. Um, but with the lineup that Celestial aims to have, I would like to see a bit more. Well, I want to say it. Well, I want to say a bit more aggression from them, but just a bit more fluidity between them as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think what's really weighing Celestial Aim a lot down is the lack of Sentinel. Yes, they have Chamber, but we've talked about this before. Chamber plays more like a duelist, so they're not able to really hold down sites as we see their smokes go down here on a site. Rin is no longer there, so they're not going to have smokes for retake. All they have is a lot of Initiator util. We see that the Soba recombo is available in 30 seconds. We have the Woof coming in as well if they need it. But what's happening here is they have no control of A site, and A site is usually the site that Fury is hitting. And now this retake is looking very grim as they have less than min advantage. Zaddy rushing into site, not able to capitalize on anything. And just like that, 4th point on the board for Fury. And I think what I stated before, 1B, is happening, which is they're not able to capitalize on this defense, so Fury's taking it.
Yeah, I mean, we said it at the before this map even started. Really, is that Haven's a it's not it's different from Icebox really in that it's a attacker sided map and not a defender sided map. And for Celestial's aim's sake, I'm hoping that it's the case of them being on defense on Haven and not a case of they're not prepared for this map, because I don't think it's not them not being prepared for this map. I just think it's defense on Haven. Defense on Haven is a lot harder than what it might seem to viewers who, well, don't normally watch competitive Valorant or who don't play enough of it, you know? So it's, I'm hoping it's a sake of it being defense on Haven and not them not being prepared for it, like I just said. But
Well, the Hunter's Fury coming out very early from Mouse. I think he got a tap onto someone up A long, but I could be wrong. But we do see a rotation coming down from him, so I do believe he did get a pick here as he knows someone is A long. The bomb is going to be traveling there because previously before they have given up the site, but here we're going to have both Astra and Soba ready to retake this. Havoc taking it very slow. The lack of stars here are kind of concerning onto a site. This should be a full buy, but I don't know if maybe Rin didn't get a chance to fully buy here, but
30 seconds left.
that white peak is able to be rewarded with a kill on Havoc, but then gets traded off very easily. It's a 4v4. Astral Cosmic Divine coming down here as the bomb gets planted.
yeah, this is just a bit dire for Celestial Aim, and it's again, I don't even, okay, there goes 2 kills for them, and they are in the advantage in terms of man count. Now it's 3v1 as Milky Mommy grabs that kill. Crypto grabbing a kill. Sky of Milky Mommy's gonna get the defusal down, and it's not, wow, Crypto getting that kill, and he gets the 3rd. That's a clutch for Crypto. Oh my god, you're insane.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Oh man, Crypto clutching it up. We love to see it. One thing I want to point out that might be a huge thing also for Celestial Aim is we're seeing a controller, aka a sentinel, go on to the job of a duelist, and I'm specifically talking about Zaddy Snipes. As we saw last map, Zaddy Snipes was actually on Chamber, and now we're seeing him on Jet. So I wonder if that's also causing a little bit of difficulty on the side of Celestial Aim here.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a lot difficult to say because I just noticed that he did switch onto that Jet. Navi grabbing that kill with the Chambers, and not the Chambers, the Sheriff actually on that Chamber. And he could have got the kill in a second, but he's not going to. Avery grabbing that kill. And I mean the econ in terms of what we're seeing and the gun advantage that that Fury has right now, it looks like they have the advantage in this round in terms of guns. But at the moment, I mean, it's an even man count, and it looks like again they're going for this A site. The A site has actually been the weakest site that we've seen Celestial Aims defend.
Scanning
At least
ahead.
from what I'm seeing, at least. I don't know about you, but like,
Yeah, I completely agree.
but again, it looks like they're converging on this A site. Crypto planting the spike. None of those recon bolts are hitting, and the spike has been planted. Now a 4v4, even man count between both teams. But again, it's very hard to retake sites on Haven. Just as hard as it is to defend, it is very hard to retake. Crypto grabbing that kill, Casual grabbing another, Avery grabbing 2 for himself to end out the round, and that's 6 for Fury.
I'm very confused. Oh, of course, it's really hard to retake a site when there's like 20,000 smokes just lying around. Like, I don't think I could see anything through anything happening on that site. All I saw was pink and purple, which I don't mind. I love pink and purple, as you can tell. But there was, you know who else was lost in the sauce? Zaddy Snipes. Zaddy Snipes was so lost in the sauce that he got shot without even knowing where anyone was at. So I hope he finds his aim with this operator because this is a needed round, as we can tell, based on the economy.
Oh no. Oh, I agree with you there. I don't know. Maybe it's I want to say it's the defending on Haven. I don't want to. That's a bit odd for me saying that I don't want to like bag on teams a lot because usually I give my opinions and I don't care how they sound. But I mean, it's looking. They all. It's not just him. It's all of Celestial Aim right now. Really looking lost in this defense. And I mean, how many more rounds can we go before we say, "Oh, it's defense on Haven"? Because
Yeah.
at this point, I don't know what it can. I don't know what it is, but it probably isn't the defense on Haven. Maybe it's just comms and they're not prepared for this map. And I hate just saying it's not them being prepared for this map because it's a lot more than that, but that's what it seems like to me.
I think it's a combination of you might have got a little bit too confident because you won that first map. Also, your composition isn't really in favor of defense here. Celestial Divine coming out, Seekers as well. Imposter takes down Rin, the only man on site, as well as Avery getting Milk Mommy. Again, lost in the sauce. That's gonna be our quote of the day.
I haven't heard Lost in the Sauce for a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually heard you say it on your own stream, but before when I remember actually the round is still going, but this might just be Fury's round. There goes the kill for Avery, but I don't know what to say right there. Goes the flawless, but I don't even know what to say right now. I mean, you said it could be. I said it could be them not being prepared for this map. You said it could be them being overconfident. But I also agree. I heavily agree on the point that their team composition isn't what it is right now. The Chambers being the main problem for me. I love Chambers as much as anybody loves Chambers. I love that he's this French guy with this big magnum that can shoot people in the head, and then he's really awesome. And then he is, oh, you want to play, let's play, you know, type mood. But like, I don't really think he's made for a map like Haven, with it being as attacker sided as it is. He could have sacrificed it maybe for a Viper if they didn't want to play anybody else, or even a I want to say an Omen maybe, but instead they went for Chambers, and it's not working out for them, is it?
It definitely is not, and just being able to hold down sites, they're not able to hold down any sites. And we talked about this also, the fact that this map is it has lots of creases and crevices, and if you don't check your corners, you're gonna get wrecked just like that. Oh my goodness. I was saying, if you don't check your corners, that's what's gonna happen. And now the bomb is planted, and you're playing retake with little to no weapons here, hoping that you can get a weapon off of the enemy if you are Celestial Divine. But that's not gonna be the case because everybody is holding everything right. Actually, scratch that, Navi. Good, but not that good.
We've just, for the last few rounds, there's not, I mean, for all of Icebox, there has been a very good there's been a lot of positives that we can say about Icebox for Celestial Aim. For this map alone, there's not really a lot that I can say that's very positive, and there's just gonna be a lot of negatives, which isn't fun as a caster. You know, I don't want to sit here and pounce on one team and then completely give my praises to another. I like to criticize and I like to give my props to both teams. And right now, I can't for Celestial Aims. And we talked about the team comp. We talked about just them not playing their defense right at all at the moment. But also, it's a matter of I don't really know. It's probably just like it's not team composition, but like it's chemistry at the moment. It's not looking right. And I said before, how many times, how many rounds can you go with saying, "Oh, it's just defense on Haven"? You know, at you kind of got to give it up at some point. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think I like what they're doing here, which is repositioning their agents to different sites. As we can see, we're gonna have the Chamber and the Jet playing over onto a site. Astra's gonna be holding down mid and gonna get some intel from that drone coming into sight. But little behind is Havoc once more going into sight. And thankfully, though, they're gonna be able to hold them off just a tad. Hunter's Fury does tag Rin on a link, but not enough to get the kill. So we're still a pretty even advantage for both teams, and the bomb hasn't committed either. So it's a good start for Celestial Divine as far as holding them off the site.
Yeah, we've seen it in these rounds that not Celestial but Fury have been dominating so far, where they'll get early control of the site. And right now, Celestial Aims is not doing that. They're being a lot, I wouldn't say a lot less aggressive, but they're using their utility in the right way and slowing down their opponents, not only like with movements, but also slowing them down with using their utility, because they have to waste their utilities in order to counter the utility being used by Celestial Aim. And right now, Fury aren't moving as fast as we've seen them. As you guys know, 30 seconds left to go, and it looks like they're going to converge on C, and it's more of a desperation push, really. They have to push to C. Navi grabbing that kill into Havoc, or Casual. Rin grabbing the kill into Havoc. Milky Mommy grabbing the kill into Avery. And the last kill goes to Milky Mommy grabbing that kill onto Crypto, and that goes the second round for Celestial Aims. And that was a lot better on their defensive side, using their utility to their advantage to burn out not only time, but also to slow down the attackers. Because I said it just then, what we've seen from Fury is just complete and utter domination very, very early on because of how aggressive they're pushing onto site. And Celestial Aims not having an answer to that aggression until now.
Yeah, that repositioning of agents did them phenomenal, and as we can see, though, this is going to be where things actually get started, as Zaddy Snipe's finally able to get that pick, but gets traded off by Havoc. Havoc doing a good job toward the Franz, connecting once. Waiting, watching this long. He knows someone else is coming from there. Oh, but they're being held backside as Jet is already inside. They don't know this, so it's going to be a very creepy peek from Navi, who gets picked off from Havoc, finally creating some chaos on site for his team. Mouse shock darting, has those lineups, hopefully getting a little bit of damage over there. And now it's a Cosmic Divine coming out of Crypto here, able to hold off one man. Now it's just left to Mouse. Mouse has a drone and a dream. That dream being getting another point on the board to potentially get the third point. Time is ticking. 90 health, 30 shield. Pretty good.
Right here.
Okay. I didn't think it would dissipate that quickly, but it did. There goes the Cosmic Divide dissipating, and there goes the last kill going into the way of, I said Zaddy Snipes, but he's Jet, so is Havoc, but that kill came to Havoc as they grabbed the 9th round for themselves. And this is the last round before the switch. So if they grab this round, this puts them in a good spot for their defensive half.
It does indeed. I do want to say, and I mentioned before, the team composition for Celestial Divine is a more attacker sided, so maybe they're hoping that if they get this 9-3 curse, they could potentially turn it back. But the weapons on their hands are telling a whole different story. Zaddy getting aggressive long, Crypto able to punish it. The bomb is hanging out at window. Economy-wise, it is rough, just like I stated, and I also want to mention, I also said if Fury was able to create some chaos on attack, they were probably going to take down this map, and I have to say that that's looking like the thing that's going to happen here, Wumby.
I mean, they did a very good job in those 9 rounds that they've won to create such havoc and to, again, like I think I said it before for both teams really that well, the spike going down, but I said for both teams that they get aggressive when they can, and it's usually in the benefit of their team. Fury has been doing a good job of that. The spike going down, an advantage for Fury, and then also the man count, also an advantage of Fury. Now even more so as Crypto grabs that kill onto Navi. Another kill, this time 2 in the way of casual, and there goes your 10-2 half. Now we got the switch. Now we got Fury going onto defense, and Celestial Aim going onto attack. And you stated before, this is the Celestial Aim's lineup that they have so far is very attacker-sided, especially even more so with that chamber and line. And I think I said before when I was kind of ranting on about what was going on in this match, that the chamber was really biting them in the butt on their defense. And I feel like a Viper would have been more suited for the defensive half, and not only for their defensive halves on Haven, but also for their attack, because Viper's good on both sides. She's not just good on her defense, and you know she's made good on both sides because of her ability to use not her her smoke clouds, her toxic clouds, and also her Viper's pit to cloud off vision for the the defending team as well as the attacking team.
Oh man, Havoc getting cheeky, pushing up A short as well as Crypto. They are able to secure 2, make that 3, and last man standing is going to be Mouse.
I don't even know what's going on. Mouse grabs that kill into Avery as he's stuck in a 1v1. He's in terms of HP advantage, Crypto is on full HP, but it's up to the guns of both players. Please, 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 Crypto, please don't lose this. And he's down to 58 HP. Now, this may be looking a little bit even between both players as they're both trying to find one another. There goes the recon boat. It's going to be shot at by Crypto. And there goes the clutch from Mouse. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. That looked like it was going in the way of Fury, but that was a extremely good clutch from Mouse. He really saved his team there. And it's now a 10-3, well, scoreline at the moment, but Celestial Aim have a long way to go.
Yeah, wow, Mouse was so patient, used his recon bolt to figure out the positioning of Crypto there, and Crypto trying to jiggle peek, trying to hold on to the bomb just was not the play, and I don't know if this is gonna say anything, but it might be in favor of Celestial Aim, as we are going to get that bonus buy up here onto C site, where C site was a free site. I do like this positioning from Mouse looking over for this rotation.
It seems that they gave up the site presence to Fury in order to invest into this rotation and retake site. Instead, the spike has gone down. It's a 4v3 man advantage for the side of Celestial Aim. Now 4v2 is not to grab that kill. Now 4v1, and it's now up to Avery, who has been popping off this game, to be fair. He's 22-7, but he's going to have to find 4 more to make it. What is it? 20. I'm doing quick maps. 20. He's not gonna find a single one as Navi grabs that kill onto Avery. 46.
I'm glad we're not math majors.
I took some maths class in college, but I did indeed cheat. So there you go.
Well, let's talk about that round one, because that was a fast round. And it was an expected round, I think we can agree, because of that weapon advantage on the side of Celestial Aim. Unfortunately for them, though, Chamber did go down, so we're going to see Navi on a Sheriff only, as they're going to try to buy up for the next round. I'm expecting to see the 11th point here on the board for Fury, if they are able to hold on to not just angles, but also weapons.
Yeah, this round is going to be very important to both teams' economy because it looks like Fury actually did full buy this round. As I'm looking at their credits and they barely have any left, and it's because, well, actually they didn't full buy, but it's kind of like a full/force buy where they bought some armor, they bought vandals, they bought phantoms, and I'm guessing it's to put themselves on this 11th round. 2 kills going in the way of either team. There goes, oh wow, it's the man advantage for the side of Fury, and the last player is in C long. This is a 3v1 man advantage. I don't really think that, well, Sova doesn't really have a chance to clutch this out. I don't want to say he doesn't have a chance. There's always a chance that you clutch out a 1vx, but the spike isn't in his place. It's actually in the sight of both Imposter and Crypto in the B site. So he has to find not only the spike, but also 3 players.
30
and the
seconds
spike
left.
is actually in the nest of 2 of those players.
Yeah, and this crossfire by Crypto and Imposter there is going to be good for one. It knows where the second one is. Going to right click. The right click works for him. Now it's a 1v1. Jet being the last man alive. Picks just at the perfect time. Havoc saved his team. Oh.
I would have lost my mind had there been another clutch from Mouse. Because Mouse has come up big for Celestial Aims in so many rounds. Not only in oh my god, Haven, but also in Icebox as well. I mean, we saw that 1v3 clutch in Icebox where I think it was a post plant for Fury, and he was able to find 3 players in really good post plant positioning in that 1v3 clutch, and he almost could have screwed them over, even though he was in such a disadvantage with the spike being in the possession of 2 of those players in that 3v1. Jesus.
It's going to be a full push on to B here. 1B as Recon Ball is going to find no one, but someone gets found in CT and goes down. It's a post plant now in favor of Celestial as they have that man advantage. Looking at utility though, we do have Cosmic Divine as well. That's it. Just Cosmic Divine on the favor of Fury if they wish to use it here. I don't know if that's going to be the plan, but what Imposter is doing, though, is pushing this C-Long where he's hoping he can catch someone, peeking just at the wrong time, but that is not going to happen. Milk Mommy shutting it down, and the 5th point on the board, 6 points from tie game here. What's the mentality here, 1B?
From both teams, or
in general.
I feel like Celestial Aims are, I don't want to say I feel like their mental is going to be a little bit better, but not, well, as good as I would say Fury. And that's not to say like, oh, Fury are like carefree in this match. I mean, they're trying as best as they can on a Haven defense, but they have 2 rounds left to go, so I feel like their mental is pretty good. And I don't really know in terms of mentals. I feel like it's the same way as it was when we saw Fury dominate over those last 3 rounds, whereas Celestial Aims, they have to catch up, and they know that in the back of their mind that they have to catch up. And that could be either really damning for them or really good for them, because if they are rushing themselves to get into those positions to get those early frags, then they could really put their team in a very bad spot. Whereas then in other situations where if they're trying to get themselves back into level terms, then they don't overcompensate. They do the basic stuff and they can win these rounds very easily, especially on a Haven attack. I mean, they have a very good lineup for an attack on Haven. I feel like it's not the same still.
Right here.
Yeah, this mid push is going to be it, but a very good flash from Avery calling out to the team that there's going to be 2 folks here. That recon ball as well. Crypto bring through the smoke, not able to connect. And now it's a 4v2. Casual, good for 1. That's the planter as well, good for 2. It's going to be a 1v2, but not it.
No. That's not how that's supposed to end at all. I know I picked Fury to win this, but I feel really bad for Celestial Aim because again I just said it. You know, they put it's the fact that, you know, they know they have a mountain to climb and they know they have to catch up. and that can either make or break your team. And again, in that situation, they were in a very good spot to win that round, and I thought they should have won that round. But they over-aggressed and they overcompensated, and again, they're doing it here. Havoc getting the first kill on Ren, and that's your Astra gone. Now your Chambers is gone as well. Milky Mommy grabbing his doppelganger, but the man advantage. Now, well, okay, it's an even man count. Milky Mommy grabbing 2 kills, and onto Havoc. Well, yeah, no, it was Havoc. It was first Avery, then Havoc. Yeah, and
Yeah,
now
those-
it's an even man count between both teams.
Yeah, Seeker is giving out the position of at least one player for the defenders here, and it's Crypto. Crypto, I want to give a lot of, not congrats, but round of applause to Crypto, because Crypto has been doing absolutely phenomenal for his team here, though now putting some Astro Pull here, and able to connect, but doesn't show the right person. It's a 2v2 now on the hands of Fury, a Cosmic Divine coming out here as they push onto site, walking the thin line and able to get the kill. And that is match point, folks. We're going to the third map.
Team Ace.
That was a team ace.
Defenders win.
That's actually, I mean,
Progress, my friends.
that leaves me at a loss of words. I mean, I want to say it was a good fight back from Celestial Ames, but obviously not good enough to the point where they would have got themselves back into the game. And they knew deep in the back of their minds that they had to come back, and they couldn't, and that's unfortunate. But we go into the next map, and I don't know what the next map is.
What a map number 2, though, my friends. Welcome back, Cute Noob and Wumby. Or maybe myself, welcome back. But you guys,
Yeah.
oh my God. Furious, fast, a little bit of both. I don't know if we get a little trademarked if we say the full thing in the right order, but Fury came out to win, and my God, they did so in a dominating fashion, 13-5 on Haven there. But that was incredible. We got to see some really nice stuff out of Avery and Crypto. Just some really amazing, clean gunplay. I do want to give a quick shout out to Milky Mommy and Mouse on that one as well too, from Celestial Aim. I mean, both are playing great. That one play on B coming in, the 2v1 from Mouse was just perfect stuff. But we get what we came for. It's game 3 that we're going to be heading on to, but we are going to take a quick break first. When we come back, we'll be getting our thoughts about how we feel about the third game. But let's take ourselves a rest. Let's get these players a little bit of rest too, and we'll be back for game 3 in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere, because we'll see you back for the deciding match. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's about time to get into our game 3. We're just readying up right now, getting ready to go for this one, but heading on to Ascent for our final deciding match of the evening. And I know there's been some talk about, what are the ideal agents coming in. I've seen a few people in Twitch chat kind of reaching out for that too. It's like, why is there no Viper on Haven? Big question mark there. And I think rightfully so. But 1B Cute Noob going into this final map onto Ascent, something that's a little smaller, something with only 2 sites to actually plant that spike. In 30 seconds, 1B, what do you want to see on this map? Go.
You want me to say that in 30 seconds?
Yes, I
I
do.
am expecting to see. We've seen so much so far. I'm expecting him to. I'm expecting to see him on Ascent. I'm also expecting to see a Jet and other operators that can really easily make their way around the map. Maybe a Chambers, even though I didn't really expect to see a Chambers on Haven. I do expecting to see him on Ascent.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I know Chambers a big one for Ascent, but Cute Noob, 30 seconds or less. What do you need to see? What has to be here for Ascent in this final map?
Astra KJ there, period.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
That's it.
We got
That's
it. We got to see the Astra. We got to see the Astra. For me, I'm open Killjoy. Of course, it's just you got to have that utility. I mean, same sort of thought as Astra. You cut someone off, you take away one of those sides, it forces you to the other side of the map. But we'll see what's happening here. It's going to be Fury on the defending side starting off. It's game 3, the deciding match to see which one of these teams are actually going to be going 2-0 in the standings after this week and which one's going to be 1-1. But I believe It's just actually now that I say that, we were going and then someone ran off to the washroom. So we got ourselves another little bit, but we are ready on our end, just waiting for our players to go on this one too. But yeah, this is really, I think, going to start to give us a better idea of which of these teams are sitting in that top spot, which kind of teams are we looking at in terms of playoffs. And remember, I believe it's only top 4 from either side of these pools that are going to be going on to the playoffs. So every map counts, but here we go. Agent Select coming up. 1B Cute Noob. I'll see you on the other side, but let's see who's taking this one home.
We are heading in 1B. I am stoked. I know it's a 1-1. There's a little bit of tension between us because I know you picked the opposite team as I. No hard feelings. It's okay. But I am just glad. I'm glad that this is a Fire Games. We get a third map.
There ain't a problem. There ain't no problem. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But we do see a Killjoy coming out from both sides actually, and also a Sky and Sova as I expected. But I mean, we also do see Killjoy. I can't remember. KO. Oh my lord, they have such similar names. KO. Well, what? What? Havoc? Oh, okay. Now he goes on the dead. I
Change
was
his
so
mind.
confused. But we have 5 out of 5 locked in for the side of Fury. It looks like Celestial Aims are kind of toying with the idea, or they're having like a little bit of a team talk to prep themselves up into Ascent, because Haven was a bit of a trip for them, but I feel like Ascent is going to be a different story, and it might just be the most competitive map that we see out of all 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm
Choose
I'm
your agent.
I'm a little bit mind boggled because I think we're going for a mirror matchup here. They're just gonna go for it. We got the Jets, we got the Astras, we got the Sobas, we've got the KJs, we've got the Skies. This is gonna be. It's not just who wins this series, but it's gonna be who does better with the same team composition. And I'm looking at the players who have been top for either team. Last map was Avery and Crypto shutting it down for Fury. The first map it was Milk Mommies and Casual. So it's going to be who can outfrag the other and who's gonna make the biggest impact for their team, basically.
Yeah, also the clutch factor coming in from both teams. Obviously, the one player that I will highlight is Mouse. Mouse having some of the more, well, he's been close on a lot of occasions, and he also had that fantastic 1v3 clutch that we saw in Icebox. And if he can pull out that same form onto Ascent, I mean, this is going to turn out to be a good game between both of those teams. Because while, Mouse does have those clutches involved, there are times where Fury will bounce back and they'll have some clutch plays of their own from their own players as well. And I'm just excited to see what that will turn out to be as we wait for this round to start. It looks like there's a pause going on.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a technical difficulty, but let's look at the weapons. We're gonna have Celestial Aim being on attack, just so me or you don't get confused, because sometimes we do get confused on that a little bit. But we're gonna have them on attack, and it looks like they're looking to get this frenzies, these ghosts, even a light shield, as we can see on Navi. On the hands, though, of the defenders, they're just going for more of a ghost buy or no buy, apparently, as we could see on. Wait, is that a sheriff on Havoc's hand? I can't tell. That looks a little different from the classic, so that does look like a sheriff.
I think that is a sheriff.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's a little bit
Yeah.
bulkier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a sheriff. We confirmed it. Thank you. Thank you, voice in my head. I appreciate you. So if you were not here before, it's a 1-1. The first map that we visited was Icebox. It was really cold, but the one that became victorious on that map was Celestial Aim. Then we went over to Haven, a more chill, green, and peaceful vibe, and that went over to Fury. And now this is going to be the deciding factor. The winner of this map is going to be actually one of the top teams to look out for eventually throughout the series as well. Let's talk a little bit of team composition here, 1B. No, I mean, they're both exact replicas. But starting off for attack here, what do you want to see from Celestial Aim?
Well, for Celestial Aim, I am hoping for some really good utility usage. I expect it from both teams, but for the side of Celestial Aims, when it's I think I've said this about Ascent plenty of times whenever I've casted this map. Ascent is a map where for defense you do want to waste as much time and as much utility as possible against the attackers, and it's very important that the attackers, you know, with them having the same team composition that the defenders do have, that they not get overwhelmed by the amount of utility that's being used against them, and instead use their own utility to push these defenders off of these sites they plan to plant or dominate in. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what do you think are some weaknesses that we have seen throughout these couple of maps for Celestial Aim?
Um, at least on Haven, that's where most of the weaknesses I saw from them is that they seem very easy they seem very easy to be overwhelmed, and I
Hmm.
want to it's I want to I want to say it was probably again Haven defense, but when we saw Fury play on defense, it was really not the same story. It was a lot different. We saw Fury defend or even retake their sites very comfortably, whereas with Celestial Aim, even when they did try to retake their sites, it wasn't convincing whatsoever. There were times where you even said that they were lost in the sauce, and I hope that that doesn't happen here, where when they're faced with gunfights, that they don't get completely nervous, and that they don't overwhelm themselves too much, and that their mental's not in the mud from Haven, because I want to say that was a really dominating performance from Fury on Haven, and I hope that doesn't affect their mentals as much as it would any other team.
And now, in terms of Fury, what do you think their downfall might be on this map?
Over aggression.
Okay.
Simple as. I think. I think I said it before. Like, they can be aggressive, and it can be very. It can be very. It can. What the hell just happened in the chat? It can be to their downfall or to their advantage. And there were times on Icebox where they were really aggressive, and it worked out for them because Celestial Aim, again, being it they can be easily overwhelmed. I say too easily overwhelmed at times. And there were times where when they were aggressive, it didn't completely work out for them. And it's important that they learn their lessons very early on, and that they respect their opponents as much as they did on Haven, because I felt like once they respected their opponents on Haven, even though they were just as aggressive as they were on Icebox, they can really have a leg up in this map, not only with being aggressive but also respecting their opponents, and giving them space when they need to give them space, and not taking gunfights when they don't need to take them.
Well, we're gonna find out after this technical pause goes. We were just had a little bit of technical difficulties, and apparently there's someone's birthday in the team. If you have not already put happy birthday, you guys can put some happy birthday in the chat. What a nice day to celebrate. I wish it was my birthday too. I want cake now. What's your favorite type of cake, Mumby?
I don't know. I don't. You know what type of cake I really hate? I know we're talking about cakes that we really like. I want to be negative for a moment because I just want to get all my negativity out before we start this whole matchup. But I hate red velvet. I cannot stand red velvet or even chocolate cake. I hate chocolate cake.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I think
like
you just
coconut.
offended half the Twitch chat by that comment.
Ah, man, it's just cake. I also hate. I was gonna say muffins. I love muffins. I don't really like cupcakes all that much.
Oh, I love cupcakes because you can like just shove the whole thing in your mouth and it's like done. Bam, one bite, finish.
I used to just only eat. I was such a weird kid. I only used to eat the frosting as a kid, and I didn't really care for the bread.
I mean, the frosting is pretty nice, especially if you have a sweet tooth. You know, it's like that little boost of a sugar rush. Love it. So, what is your favorite type of cake, though?
Coconut cake.
Coconut.
Or like, yeah, just coconut cake. I'm very basic.
Oh.
I don't really like anything extravagant. I don't know. I don't really have. Whenever I've had birthdays, I don't really have birthday parties. It's because I don't enjoy birthday parties because I don't really enjoy my birthday. I don't like to be reminded that I'm getting older.
You know, I feel like that's a more common thing nowadays. It's like people don't really enjoy celebrating their birthday. I feel like we should celebrate the fact that we are one and only. We're a unique human being. Just like these two teams going head to head, trying to be the best here as we started off. We're gonna go already into mid site where mid is in control by Crypto, but Crypto getting backed up by that drone is gonna have to give it up. And this deep push by not just Milk Mommy, but also Zaddy Snipes here getting control of market. This B site is going to be a take for Celestial Aim here as they push. That turret's gonna cause a little bit of distraction, but they don't know, is there someone in their back door? Milk Mommy shutting it down.
Jesus, this is whoa. He's been shut down by Crypto, and it's now a 4v3. So it's very possible that Fury
Spike
find their way
planted.
back into this. But you know, just as hard as it is to attack sites on a sense, it's very hard to retake sites, and it's mainly because of these post plant positions being established, especially in Boathouse by Navi. And again, the spike is planted. There goes the utility being used from the side of Celestial Aim. Jet is actually very low on the side of Fury, so he might be down. First, it's actually Crypto to get moused, and there goes that clutch player I was talking
One
about,
enemy
Crypto.
remaining.
And now the last player being alive
standing.
is actually the Killjoy, but she's gonna grab that kill on the already low Havoc, and oh my god, that's a nasty one tap from Navi. And that Killjoy, I mean, it wasn't really her utility, but mainly her guns. I mean, you can argue that her utility did get the intel onto that final player, but that was a nasty shot on that last player that she did kill.
Definitely a bait. Did you know that the turret's name is Chicken?
Really?
Yeah, KJ's turret's name is Chicken.
Why?
I don't know. She named it Chicken. We
I
learned
guess
something
it
today.
resembles a chicken because of the way it just kind of like walks. That's so cool. Oh my god, there goes the aggressiveness from, well, I want to say Fury. 2 kills coming out for each team, and it's not even man count, and they just scurry back. But there goes the lurk as well, as you see a player in mid that's imposter lurking. I think he's gonna try and lurk or flank behind the team of Celestial Aims, and it looks like they're mainly focused on the players that are in sight. So that rush probably distracting the Celestial Aims team from this flank that's coming in from Killjoy. But Navi's gonna grab the kill into Avery, and it's now the man advantage for the side of Celestial Aims. Make that 4v2, and there goes the turret giving away the position of the Killjoy. Her own turret. What an op.
Spike planted.
Yeah, that was a really good placement of the turret, stopping that flank from Imposter. They are now having to push into Tree. It's a 2-man retake here, low health. Weapon advantage in the favor of Celestial Divine here. A lot of Spectres. If they are able to hold on to them, it's going to be a full Spectre for next round. But now it's just left to trying to just hold down the site and get some exit picks in terms for Team Fury here, as there's not a lot of options because there's just one man, a hope, a dream, and 26 health. Doesn't really add up now, does it?
He has that pistol in hand. I mean, there's not a lot you can do with the pistol against the Spectre. Spectre being one of the better guns in the game. I'd say honestly, I really do like the Spectre. I think I use it whenever I play Valorant. The few times that I do play Valorant, I use the Spectre more than I use the oh my god, the Phantom and the Vandal. Even I don't know why, but I just really like suppressed SMGs, and it's really accurate too. Easy to hit your shots with that gun.
Absolutely. Close range combat with the Spectre. I get wrecked all the time. But we shall see who's going to get wrecked this time around as they're going to push into B site. The recon bolt, though, is going to ping at least 2 folks onto Garage here. And now it's going to be a rethink situation for Celestial Aim, as they know there's someone on that mid rotation. They don't know who, but they know it's someone, and the aggression onto B site is going to happen. Cosmic Divine coming in to close off CT and Market. That Woof did not allocate anyone, but Navi does allocate Havoc. Going down now, it's bomb planted, men advantage, and a retake for Fury here, who once again is just left with just 2 people alive.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for them. Again, the gun advantage in the hands. Well, actually, they both have phantoms in hand, so but the gun advantage is
Here.
still in the advantage of the side of Celestial Aims. I don't know if they're trying to maybe save this round because they're not anywhere near the site to retake it, and it looks exactly that. They don't want to lose their lives; they just want to save the guns that they do have because next round they're not going to be in as much of a econ advantage as Celestial Aims are at the moment. This puts Celestial Aims actually in a really, really good spot economically at this point, as they just won 3 rounds in a row.
Not just that, but they're also being very aggressive, 1B. I think that's something that maybe we didn't get to see as much on Haven just because they were shut down so early on the defense by Fury there, but they're just being very aggressive and picking one side to attack, regardless of what damage is being thrown at them, regardless what util is being thrown at them. They're still being very persistent and trading within each other for the site. What could Fury do here to kind of rotate things around and put things in their favor?
I feel like maybe meet them with that same energy because Fury are doing the opposite of what I see them do. I mean, that last round, I think, well, the round before that, where they lost that second round, they were very, very aggressive, and it almost paid off. But it seems like in this map alone, really,
Right here.
that they're not being aggressive enough, or they're not really meeting them with the same energy. And it could be because I feel like Navi on this Killjoy is doing such a good job at shutting down these rotations with these turrets. And maybe that's why Fury can't be as aggressive as they can, because at first they were really good at rotating and doing these flanks. Nuki Mommy grabbing the first kill into Crypto, and now with the Killjoy in play of Navi, he's doing such a good job with it. It's just not. It's not really the same
Spike
story, is
planted.
it? The aggression is not really the same for Fury, and it's now a 5v3, now 5v2. Rin grabbing that kill, and the Spike's down in the A site, and they have to retake their own site, and it is a flawless round for the attackers. I mean, at this point, what can they do? I said be more aggressive, but I feel like it's not just that. I don't really know.
They're getting picked off very easily, and not just getting picked off, but also traded very easily, where it doesn't really feel on the side of Fury that they're doing as a team together. If we look at the scoreboard, Imposter having a really hard time even getting a kill here. And not just that, but the most amount of kills on the side of the defenders is 2. And as we're already 4 rounds in, this is going to be a detrimental round for them, especially since Havoc decided to bring out that operator with the light shield. And Navi getting that crazy pick through the smoke here. And now it's gonna be a full force onto B side with the lockdown here.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Well, yeah, it was a bit unfortunate for Avery getting shot through that little smoke that he had put down, but the Spike is actually going to go down at the moment. It isn't even man count between two teams, but the Astro Crypto is actually pretty low and healthy, on 45 HP in a dream, and this is going to be a very hard retake. Havoc getting that kill with the little shorty onto Mouse, and there goes your first player gone. He gets another, this time with the operator. That's onto Milky Mama, who's the doppelganger, and it's now 2 players that they have to watch out for. Now the last enemy being in Boathouse, and that's the round for Fury. I mean, Havoc wreaking havoc with that operator, switching up the defusal. It was actually going to Havoc defuse it, now Crypto defuse it to end off that round, and he picks up the Phantom that was left in Boathouse by whoever was just last there. And now I want to say their econ is looking a little bit better, but the econ is still most definitely in the advantage of Celestial Aim.
Also, looking at possible ultimates coming out here, we do have that Blade Storm over on Milk Mommy, and Milk Mommy was very dangerous on the race, so I want to see if that's what's going to be a factor coming into this attack. The operator, I think, was a much needed buy in the hands of Fury because Havoc is doing damage. The double peek gets one, but gets traded off by, hey, who did I just say? Milk Mommy here, shutting it down. It's a 1v1. Actually, Milk Mommy's very, very low here, so it could be an easy pick easy pick here for Fury if they play their cards right. They just need to hold down the site. One thing that I want to see Fury do a little bit more is we've talked about it, and if we've talked about it, then they must know that they're very persistent about attacking one solid site. So if they can just make sure that they can prolong that attack, that might be in the favor of Fury here.
Yeah, and also wasting. I think I said this before, but it's also very important to waste the attacker's time. And I feel like that's not what Fury are doing. And it's again that over-aggression that I said will bite them in the butt. The Hudson's Fury does come out, but it's not going to catch a single player. Every player on the side of Fury are on full HP, but not for the side of Celestial Aim. Havoc still on low HP, and Rin getting killed by Imposter. And this A side push is going to be thwarted, but they're planting the bomb and site. Avery grabbing that kill into mouse move. Kimami getting killed as well by Casual. There goes the kill by Navi as the spike is already down and it's up to Navi, but he's not going to grab a single kill. And there goes the defusal plant yet again, and it's now a 4-2 scoreline for the side Fury. But in the advantage of Celestial Aim so far, and I mean Fury are most definitely adjusting well. I think I said it before. I can't remember what I said, but it was like about them over aggressing, and you said it as well, that it was about them being picked off too early, which does come hand in hand with them over aggressing. And that time they didn't really do that. It was a mixture of good aggression, but also it was structured aggression as well as just waiting for them to come to them, and they ultimately won their gunfights based off of that as well.
Well, the ones aggressing now are the defenders, as we can see them pushing into A main. They're not gonna come in contact with anyone. Havoc doing damage with the operator. I think Havoc and an operator is gonna become an issue time after time for Celestial Aim if they do not shut it down as quickly as possible. The bomb now is gonna be making its way onto Tree Room, but they have no control over A main, so there's gonna be a aggressive hold for Fury there.
There goes I think the Killjoy or the KG of Impossible. She got flashed and she put down her turrets called Chicken into that little A area, but it doesn't look like Celestial Aim have a solid plan. That's a one-tap from Crypto. I heard that, but I didn't see it. Holy crap. That was I heard that. That was actually a really nice shot. And he grabs that. And they're just stuck in mid. There goes another kill. Now another for Avery and Imposter. One each. And the spike is down to mid. It's now up to the Killjoy of Navi, but he does not have a chance in this round. Everybody has a chance at 1vx, but I don't think so. The spike is down. They have control of it. It's in mid. They have control of mid. He has to find 4 players. No, not at all.
Yeah, and the operator is still in the hands of Havoc. Yeah, the plan should be get rid of the operator off of the hands of Havoc, because ever since Havoc got a hold of the operator, it's been a downfall for Celestial Aim. So if they could maybe not even get rid of it, maybe bait it. You bait it A, you go B, you take over B site, you take over the site, you place post plant, you don't peek any overly aggressive angles, and that's your point there. Easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah, I'm one of those players where if you tell me to peek, if you tell me not to peek, I'm going to do it anyways, and if you tell me to peek, I'm not going to peek. I do the opposite of what people want me to do. For some odd reason, I'm just very weird like that. But it does still look like a heavy A push for A main from the side of Celestial Aims. And they're dedicating a lot of utility actually to this A push. The Cosmic Divide coming out onto that rafters. There goes the flash onto the sky from her own sky, and there goes the plant going down. And now Fury have to play Retake Simulator 2022.
Retake Simulator. Oh, the unfortunate come down from that Cosmic Divine while Havoc is ready for that. Hunter's Fury is also being used here. That's 2 ultimates down for the count. Havoc trying to take over some space for his team, is able to clear out Hell. And now it's a 2v4. Scratch that. 1v5. Oh, nothing. There's no one. There's nothing. It's a shutdown.
Ooh, I mean, just as quickly as we saw Celestial Aims get 4 rounds, we see Fury get 4 rounds. And I mean, I said it. I feel like Ascent is going to be just as good, if not better, than what we've seen from Icebox and Haven. And I feel like we're gonna get overtime. I don't know if my heart can handle overtime, but we're probably
Right
gonna
here.
get it anyways. And the operator in the hands of Havoc. I mean, what is it with Jet and operators? I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on.
It is the fast mobility, the fact that you can, after you miss, you just get out of the way, you skedaddle, you reposition here, and the one repositioning here is going to be Avery as he gets one, tries to run away, but the Odin's just too good! Odin doing some wall bang damage onto Havoc here, not able enough to kill, but still there, creating a mess for Fury here. They're gonna have to re-rotate because this is a too hot site, but Mouse is so persistent on getting another kill. Casual, though, is cleaning it up, and now it's going to be a mid hit here, maybe even possibly an A hit, as they could tell. There is one person mid. The bomb, they're just not deciding here, and that might be what's causing this loss here, 1B.
Yeah, that happened in the round before the last round that we just saw Fury won, where they weren't really too sure what side to push. They kept like juggling between A main and then mid, and also B main and B lobby. And couldn't really
Last
take the
player
decision.
standing.
And again, it's gonna bite them. But Crypto grabbing that kill, Ren is gonna try and plant. But against 4 players, I think not. And there you go, Fury grabs that round, and it's their 5th defending round. I mean, you just said it. It's the lack of decision making that we see coming out from Fury, and it was, I think, in the round before the round that we just. I can't remember. It was a round where they were trying to push A main or A lobby, and then they pushed themselves into A main, and then they were struggling between like mid A main and then B main, and it was just a hot mess of a push. They couldn't really make a decision on where they wanted to go. And that was the case for that round as well. They just didn't know what to do.
That, and now you are going into a weapon disadvantage. The aggression coming out of a Fury here as Havoc just creating chaos everywhere he goes with that operator and not showing a sign of stoppage. But maybe if Milk Mommy can put a knife in the right position, that could be it. He's trying to make something happen here as he's holding this cheeky mid angle. I wish I could hold that with another character, but it's just too good getting that updraft there. Casual is going to be pushing down mid, just making sure they don't go in. That bomb is wanting to go there. Recon bolt does not connect. Shock bolt does not connect, but the recon bolt is going to show a position of Casual. And that's a headshot for Milk Mommy, who's now creating more space than previously before, trying to get that second kill, but is shut down by Imposter.
Bomb grenade out.
Yeah, it's now a main advantage just by 1 though for the side of Fury. And okay, now it's made even worse for the side of
My
Crystal
double's
Aim.
dead.
But 2 kills
30
actually come
seconds
out for
left.
them as they bring it into an even man count. It was just a 4v2, now 2v2. As they
One
play
enemy
their 5th
remaining.
round, they're pushing as a team and they're getting these kills, isolating
Found
these
one.
players, and they're able to kill them. They're going
Spike planted.
position being alerted
Oh, that
by
was
chicken turrets, and now both of these players have moved just below rafters in the A site. And I mean, they planted the spike right in front of
I'm
that
out of
position
stuff.
too. So I mean, if
Time
he
to
wants
hunt.
to, it's like floor banging from below. But he's just going to try and take a direct gunfight as they're
One
in the
enemy
same
remaining.
position. What are you doing, Celestial Ames? That's not how you play that post plant. And he's gonna. I don't know what to say.
I am mind blown by the 2000 IQ by Avery just played here. I'm a bit curious though how he got that alarm bot to move out of the position. I don't know if the alarm bot was following the bullet. I'm not sure, but somehow that repositioning by the alarm bot, the drop, the flash, the stun, every util was used to perfection, and that is why the Fury's in the lead right now.
I don't know what to say. I just want to know why.
Stay safe.
What What was the plan with them just huddling? That's not what you do in a 1vx situation. You want to hold the crossfire, right? Especially if you're like right next to each other. Havoc creating havoc on that operator and again killing his doppelganger, Milky Mommy. I mean, I want to talk about that post-plant positioning a little bit later, but this round is just going on, and Havoc is doing a good job of still being aggressive on this Jet. He has the bucky in hand, but he's gonna miss the shot on the ground. And Mouse grabs another as well, and it's now the man advantage for the side.
Got your trail.
Right here.
And Seekers coming out. Ooh, that beautiful pull by the Astra, able to get on Zaddy there and able to collect his life there. And now it's a 3v3. The bomb is making its way onto B site, but there's no one else to back him up. Rin's going to have to make something happen. Knows where KJ is, but does not know where the Sky is. And oh, it's so nice to have a Sky being able to heal you when you're hurt. Rin, though, being aggressive, playing this aggressive, gonna just push out because, I mean, what are you gonna do there? Imposter, though. The crosshair placement was beautiful. And 7-4 on the board. It's looking
Last
pretty
round in
grim
the half.
for Celestial Aim. Gumby. 1B. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm feeling a little gloomy because I don't even know what's happening here.
I think my brain melted after that Avery clutch. I mean, it was a good job of him of deleting the util that came out from the killjoy because killjoys are very important in those late round situations. It makes or breaks either team really, and in that situation, it just didn't work out at all. I think their mental's in the mud after that clutch because my mental would be too. I think my mental was after that, and I don't really have a lot to say about that round. Other than the post plant positioning, which was awesome. That's a story for another day. It seems that they're going for a heavy A main push, and I have to say, whenever they push together as a team, they're really clumped up and they don't really know how to separate themselves. I don't know if that's just me noticing it or if I'm like reading too much into it. But Crypto grabbed the first kill this round, getting the kill on Civil. Avery grabs
down
two.
A.
It's probably grabbing another, and it's now a 5v2. Fury, there goes the Hunter's Fury coming out from the Sova of the Celestial Aim team, but he's not going to grab a single kill with that Hunter's Fury, and there goes the one. It's hopeless, and it's going to be made even more hopeless for the side of Celestial Aim's imposter better than let's kill.
Okay, I'm gonna just say that
Switching
they want to reset. They want to reset, and that round just didn't go their way. They just wanted to reset. I want to go on with your point, which is when they push a site, they don't really know how to spread out. I think that because at the beginning of the match, they were successful just bulldozing through a site that they believed that was what they should keep doing. But we gotta learn, we gotta evolve, we gotta re-strat up, and that is what they did not do. They weren't able to come up with a new strat, and I don't know if it's their lack of playing competitively or their lack of maybe not playing together as a team. I don't think that that's what it is because they did phenomenal the first map, but it's just not showing on this map.
It's maybe I hate saying that. I was gonna say maybe it's attack on a fam. It's a stab. I don't know. Maybe it's not Avery grabbing that kill, so maybe it's not attack on a sin. Maybe it's just them not being used to a map like a sin where defense is just as important as attack on this map. But it looks to be an A site for this, and the plant is probably going to go down very, very soon. And they have controlled the A site apart from Rattlers. But there goes the kill from
Spike
Casual.
down A.
Raptors, there goes the kill from Rin. I mean, at this point, it's just
Last
crazy.
player standing. Last player standing. I got the spike.
It's Havoc versus Navi. Navi, I don't think Havoc knows, but Navi's 6 health and a dream with the Sheriff. 6 bullets in the chamber. Navi getting a little baited here, though. Gonna stay over onto A site as Havoc goes on to B.
I like this.
He's
30
gonna
seconds
know,
left.
though.
See? I mean, this is a good rotation from Havoc. It's very nice that that he recognizes that he has to pull off of that, but the lack of awareness that we see coming in from Navi might bite him in the butt here because again, he's not on very much HP, so I mean, what else can he do? He has to get aggressive against Havoc in this post plant positioning, and he's in the middle of sight. I don't know if Havoc knows exactly how much health he's on, probably not. But there you go. He gets the one shot, one kill with the Sheriff onto the very, very low HP of Navi. I mean, he also chipped off a bit of damage onto Havoc as well. But again, he was on a very, very low HP. And now, Fury are 9-4 up on Essence.
Oh man, that was looking nice. That was looking very, very nice. Maybe you're right, Wumby. They are a defender-sided team, and they could potentially do some damage here on defense.
I need a stop. Blocking vision. Taking that back.
Hopefully, I do want to see this be a little bit more competitive. I don't want to see a sweep coming in from Fury because Fury have looked amazing on Ascent so far, especially on their defenses. That last round wasn't as amazing from them. It wasn't as amazing for them. I felt like both teams could have done better, but I mean, it came down to a 1v1 clutch from Havoc. But this time it looks like they're just testing their metal in mid. They're looking for some gunfights very early on. And oh my god, he's going to find two in the A side. Please! Oh my lord! He potatoes onto Navi just as this one have, and Navi grabs another two time on the A3. A 5v3 and Imposter Casual grab two of their own. And they have control of this A site. Brandon's on top of this Raptors as well. All three of them are on this.
Oh man, a lot of utility being used here. Oh, that KJ Molly was in a beautiful position. Now Mouse gonna take over Tree here as they are trying to retake Casual, very low on health. It's gonna be a double peek from Mouse and Rin here on Heaven as they're gonna come into contact first with the Soba. Imposter gonna be trying to get this trade. Good for one, good for two, and that is how it's done. Post plant for Fury. 10-4. 10-4. We're getting close. I'm getting nervous.
This is I mean they showed Celestial Aims how to hold a post plant when you're right next to each other. You don't just line up with one another and clump up. You want to hold the cross, and in that situation they did that, and it's looking a bit bad. It's not just a bit bad. It's looking pretty bad for Celestial Aims as Fury only have 3 rounds to go before they claim this map and also the whole entire match. And I mean, they've propelled themselves further up the table away from Celestial Aims.
Yeah, things are going to be accelerating onto mid here where there is 2 men actually holding this position. Avery is good for one. Havoc also clearing it up. Mouse though with the... Was that the Bucky? I believe the Bucky getting that really nice kill, but the bomb's going to get planted. And once again, it is left to Navi by his lonesome self, having to retake a Guardian and a Dream. Do you save here, Wumby? I don't know. What do you do at this point?
He's not gonna save. He's gonna get a kill though. He's not gonna save. He's not gonna save. And I mean, at this point, what do? You got 2 rounds left to go before you lose the whole match entirely. Their econ compared to what we see from
BYB fam. Going to
isn't
Astro
as
to do
good,
them
so they're
Astro
going to have to take. They're going to have to take some risk, if not a lot of risk, to bring themselves back into this one. And again, like we saw in Haven, they're having to catch up when they probably shouldn't be catching up. This should be a lot closer, and it's not.
Revealing
They
area.
have to catch up, and that's what we fight them on.
One man that is definitely falling short here is Zaddy Snipes, as we can see on the board, 2-12-4, having not the best game. You know, if you're in a team, especially on a team like this, and hoping to be on top, you kind of need to do a little bit more impact, especially if you're an initiator. So I think it's kind of fallen to the people who aren't carrying their weight at this point, which is some of the top fraggers from previous maps as well. Milk Mommy also down there on the scoreboard, looking a little sad. But you know who's not looking a little sad there? Havoc, because he's getting those Bucky kills nice and clean. Havoc gonna be pushing up heaven. The Bucky is doing things. Milk Mommy though holding the sniper still in hand. Havoc's gonna be holding this tricky angle. The Blade Storm comes down, but is shut down by Zaddy Snipes, who's making a statement. Maybe he heard me. I don't know, but he's going crazy here, pushing into sight. Navi holding down Hell Cage. There's gonna be one more man generator, but Zaddy heard me, and he is making a comeback. Okay, I can applaud that.
Oh, they won?
Yeah, yes, they brought it back.
Oh my god, okay.
1B, you're lost.
No, I'm sorry. I was like, my eyes, I saw two kills come out with the Bucky from Havoc, and I was like, there's no way. And he pulls out the Blade Storms at the Blade Storm at like the wrong time. It was a bit of unfortunate timing from him. And it's, I don't know, that look, I don't know why I thought Fury won that round, but it is a round nonetheless. It's a much needed round actually for Celestial Aims if they want to bring themselves back into this map of Ascents. There goes Navi getting into a fight with Havoc, not really because Havoc just drifts away as he should with the jet. And it looks like site is actually a bit light, whereas B site isn't really as light as A site is. There's only 2 players on this A site. You have a player in A main and also on top of A Raptor.
Take flight.
But they're going to push away over. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna back off from this A push. Apart from this going into A main.
Yeah, this should be a very easy round for Celestial Aim to win, as Fury is on a save round, but Havoc is going mad with the frenzy. Lockdown coming out, Havoc just creating havoc everywhere he goes. He's able to get a free operator. This is looking bad for Celestial Aim, getting captured on that lockdown as well. Oh no, it is a sad day as we are going to match point here, 1B.
You know, I'm happy that I finally get my prediction right. I'm not happy that this match is not like is not as even as we want it to be, as we hyped it up to be in the pre-show. But I feel like you know, when we talk about mentals, I feel like the mentals of Celestial Aims is not where it should be, and I think it's probably because of Haven. Also, they were like 4-1 up at a time, and I think 4-1 or 4-0 up, and they allowed Fury to get back into the game, and that probably caused some friction amongst themselves, and then they allowed them to get like 10-4 up. So I mean, that's probably really damning on your tools. I don't really know what's going on in their team. It's probably just an off day at the moment, and I totally get it. But this is not the type of match that we saw. Well, it's not the same as what we saw on Icebox. It's a shame, really.
It really is, and maybe Fury's here making a statement that even though they were getting they're getting a hard time for their money, they are able to secure this series, and they are making a statement that they are one of the top teams. But it is not over yet. I mean, anything can happen. I've seen harder comebacks, especially in the pro scene as well. So I don't know if these guys have pro genes in them, but if they do, it's time to come out right about now and clutch it up. As we see Mouse getting a little aggressive here on Garage with that Guardian. Seekers are going to come out. They know that B is the hit. A lot of ultimates are being used here with a little bit of damage being done here. Mouse good for one. Zaddy Snipes able to claim a life as well. B site is going to be the site. Holding it down though on the fort is going to be Rin. Rin good. Milk Mommy as well. It's a 2v2. B site is not in favor of anyone just quite yet. They know someone's in Garage. They're gonna push. They're gonna push 1-by-1 though, and this is not how you want to do it. Navi though able to clean it up. Now it's a 1v1. Crypto has to plant. We've seen Crypto have the clutch gene, and it's gonna have to like be super duper shown here because this is match point, folks.
Yeah, he's really slow. Now I was gonna say he was gonna need them stonewashed clutch jeans, and he didn't get the stonewashed. He got the really fake bell bottom denim blue ones. I don't know what went wrong there. I mean, I do want to talk about that round a little bit. It was a bit silly on both parts. He pulled. I don't know. I mean, especially with that jet pushing into B main, he checked the left corner, and then he just forgot about the other corner that was like right behind him. I don't know why.
Can I get this?
He pre-fired that spot. He figures that nobody's there, and then he's like, "Oh, let me check again." Like, no, they're not going to like drift in front of you. You have to like check your other. I don't know what was going on in that round. It was just a lot of foolishness.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta double check because you don't know if your eyes are playing tricks on you, you know? So that's what I'm guessing it up. But we're still gonna see an operator in the hands of Milk Mommy, not able to connect. But it is gonna be a call that there is someone onto a site. Blade Storm coming out as well from Havoc. You're gonna create a lot of havoc. I mean, I feel like we've talked a lot about Havoc because he has done so much work for his team coming in. So it's gonna be whether he can continue to do as much work as he has been doing, as well as Avery. Also, I don't want to count out Avery. If Avery and Havoc can shut it down here, it's gonna be it, folks.
Yeah, he has his Blade Storm out, and Blade Storm is one of the more infamous ultimates in the game because, I mean, it's really powerful, especially on an operator like Jet who can jump up and down, who can float, who can really confuse your team again with those smoke clouds. He's gonna jump up. 2 kills come out from the side of Fury, and this round could be over and done with. This map could be done with, but it's too early to tell. It's a 3v5 situation for the side of Celestial Games, and they have to play retake. But oh my God, Havoc again on the lucky, and he's gonna grab the last kill of the round. And there goes the map, folks. There goes the whole entire match, and it's Fury to claim this win.
GG, well played. What an insane series we got. And Wumby, look who's right at the end of the night. It's us, because Fury are walking away with the win 2-1. But honestly, I was crying at how amazing some of these plays are. I was honestly beside myself. Lovely stuff, really, from both these teams we saw here tonight. But I think, honestly, in that last one, there are 2 players, well, 3 that stood out to me. CA Navi definitely had the game of the night tonight for sure in that third one. But Havoc and Avery pulled some really nasty moves off there. Avery throughout that entire one was looking good, found a couple of clutch fights, especially on that A site where we saw them do something maybe a little questionable, but definitely spicy. And then Havoc there, I just had my cam on Havoc as they were jumping around with the jet over the boathouse, planting down and then running around with the knives and the buckshot. I'm just blown away by that, but well played by Fury. GG's, as they are going to take the lead in the standings 2-0 tonight. But 1B, Q Noob, thoughts after that series, feelings about how these players did tonight. 1B, starting with you.
You know, we talked about Havoc, we talked about Avery. I do want to give a big shouts to Casual for filling in for Lightning, because I felt like across all 3 maps, although the third map was probably his weakest, even though it wasn't really that bad, he only went 11 and 13. I felt like he really had a solid performance throughout all 3 maps. And also, he was replacing a very important player in Lightning. And I look forward to seeing Lightning play, but I was also very excited with the plays that I saw from Casual, especially on that Sova. I felt like he did such a good job on that Sova. Intel gathering. Although I don't really think he uses Hunter's Fury all that much. It was mainly from Mouse that I saw the Hunter's Fury from, but he did a really good job in getting intel from those recombos, and also Mouse as well. Again, playing the Sova, doing work with the Hunter's Fury, and also having some really big moments himself.
Absolutely. And Cute Noob, yourself, who was your standout players tonight? What caught your eye?
I'm sad. I'm just kidding. Well, yes, I am still sad. But a good job to both teams. I mean, they both showed heart at the end of the day though. That Fury, we have to give them their props because they closed it out. They closed it out and they closed it out with a statement, which was Havoc is insane with the jet and he is a player to keep your eye out on. On the side of Celestial, I think what ended up happening a lot for them was that their duelists didn't do as much impact as they should have, and that's kind of how it goes sometimes. After a long series, you just kind of burn out and you can't really do much, and that's kind of the thing about Valorant is you have the longevity wise, basically, you have to make sure that you're still there. But I think
Mhm.
Fury is definitely a team to keep an eye out for, and I'm excited to cast more of their games.
Yeah, that was really incredible, and that's a good point you bring up too, Cute Noob, because I kind of noticed that a couple rounds too, just a couple rounds where there was just lackluster. It wasn't that CA that we were seeing consistently through the night, making those crazy plays and really clean stuff. It was a round or two where just even 1B while you were casting, you mentioned it too, just like kind of falling off. How it was tough to deal with. First of all, that game too, where the score line was a little bit rough, but of course, a few of those plays and a few of those rounds were definitely disheartening. But CA definitely gave it their best shot. So GG's, well played. And we'll have to see where CA end up later on this split. But Fury, congratulations on your win tonight. We'll see them take a lead. I'm curious to see if we have any other scores from the league tonight. I'm gonna do a quick little investigation here to see if perhaps somebody has played their other games yet tonight. No, we're the first ones done as of now for week 2. So with that being said, Fury takes their lead in the standings 2-0. There might potentially be a tie for first place after tonight. So that is some exciting stuff. Or they could potentially just hold the first place spot in Group A. We'll have to see what happens at the end of this week, of course, once all those games are played. And when you catch us back here, week 3 for VLS once again on Thursday night. But any closing thoughts before we send her off for the night, 1B and Q Noob? I know it's getting late, so want to get any final thoughts in here.
I don't know. I feel like again, I think Cute Noob said it. It's the longevity of Valorant. Valorant is a very long win game, especially if you're playing just the one map. And even when I play like or not even competitive, when I play a Valorant match in general, I get very tired after the first map, and I just want to take a nap, and I don't want to play no more. Especially if it's like a really bad match. But I mean, they won the first map. It's a shame that they couldn't keep that same energy on both Haven and Ascent, because Haven and Ascent were convincingly in the hands of Fury. I'd have to say it was a lack of competitiveness I mean, it was a lack of energy on both maps, or also just lack of competitiveness on both Ascent and Haven as well.
Mm-hmm.
They kind
And
of
Cute
lost
Noob,
the game.
yourself, final thoughts for the evening.
I can't believe that 1B does not like chocolate cake. I am
What?
flabbergasted. That's it. That's gonna haunt me for the rest of my night.
I know it's gonna be tough getting to sleep tonight, but we'll do our
Oh,
best here.
not you too, Nerf. Not you too.
We're here to have fun, and what a fun night it was. It's Fury with the reverse sweep in our best of 3 tonight. They take it home 2-1, but of course, lots more VLS action for the rest of this spring split of 2022. Make sure to tune in next Thursday. We'll be back on the main channel, Victoris GG. So if you haven't already, toss a follow over there. Toss a follow here because there are 7 streams a week, 5 days a week. Lots of action going on here for Victoris Esports, and we're so excited to bring you even more. Tomorrow night will be our final stream of the week, VTS, our Victoris Triumph series. So make sure to head on over to our main channel for all of that. That being said, that's it from us tonight. We'll catch you next Thursday. Hopefully, all of us, you see all of us back here once again. But it was always a pleasure doing this with you guys here tonight. Till next time, take care, 1B Cute Noob, and the rest of you out there in Twitch chat. We'll see you next Thursday.